Boom by trike. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Rich Rich Abroad.
I'm your host, Richie Rich.
And this is Cheng. So today before we jump in, we're just going to give you some quick few reminders on for tuning in tonight. So this is a call-in live stream. Again, we want to hear your thoughts. The call-in number is 415-490-8030. And if you're outside the US, just add +1 before the number. So each call is limited to 2 minutes, so everyone gets a fair chance to join and participate in our call-in session. And most importantly, please be respectful to everyone in the chat and on the call. Let's keep it positive and real, guys. So I'm done.
Why does it have to be positive? What if they don't think positive? What if they
Okay.
don't feel positive?
So just keep it real, guys. Whether positive or
How about
negative.
polite?
Polite. Okay,
Well,
po. Thank
just,
you.
just be polite.
Just be
Yeah.
polite
If
and
they don't feel
respectful.
positive, then they can still comment.
Apo. Yes,
Yeah.
po. So today's topic, we're going to talk about the importance of choosing a quality woman in the Philippines.
I think it's a great topic.
It is.
It's a phenomenal topic.
It is. So let's shout out some people before we
But
start.
before we do, I want to tell you guys that I have a very important announcement at the end of this live stream. A very important announcement. So go ahead and shout them out.
Hello, Slick Rick. Hello.
You have your. Go ahead.
Hello, Morris. Hello, Tiger Ronnie. What's up? And also, who else?
Where's your second phone at?
Hello, Naps. Hello, Black Box. Hello, PB. And thank you. I hope everything is well out there, Morris.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because he mentioned that there's a hurricane.
There's a hurricane. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I hope batten down the hatches and stay safe, Morris. Oh, that's right. I saw that he did say that in the premiere the other day, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Hope everything is good. Okay, go ahead and kick it off.
Okay, so we're going to talk about what a quality woman really means.
Let's talk about what a quality woman is first.
A quality.
Okay. Why don't you define? If you would be so kind, define what do you think a quality woman is?
So a quality woman is, I think, is respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that she is family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
She is humble.
Okay.
She is not materialistic, and I think she knows how to carry herself more than her appearance, and she values loyalty. And I think that's what I can think of as of the moment.
As the quality woman, okay. Okay, so a quality woman's respectful.
Opo.
And okay, I think our guy described fit, feminine, friendly, and he also threw in agreeable. What do you think that meant? What do you think that meant when he said fit, feminine, friendly, and agreeable?
Agreeable that she may have her opinions, but at the same time she's willing to accept the opinions also and feedback from her partner.
Okay. When you say accept feedback from her partner, what does that
mean? When she is like in my case, so I am inexperienced. I don't have experience in a lot of things, and a lot of times a foreigner or a foreign partner just like you would be more experienced when it comes to life, when it comes to business, when it comes to almost everything. So I think that being agreeable is being able to recognize
Okay.
that.
Okay. We'll continue that, but let's take this first call. Okay.
Okay po.
Cool. All right. Let's take this first call. Let's get on here in just a second. All right. It's Richie Rich and Cheng on the line. Turn down your sound if you please. All right. And who's calling in?
Hey, Rich, it's me, Phil. How are you guys?
What's going on,
I'm
PB?
Cheng.
Hello
All right,
po.
so my apologies. So my opinion on what uh, the ideal or perfect woman is she has to be able to do that 50% of the relationship as well. I don't want her to do more than her fair share because then I would be demanding too much of her. But I want my first thing is trust. If I can't trust you, how can I ever be with you? How would I ever want to go through that torment? Literally, that's what divides a lot of relationships is once you lose that trust, it is the hardest thing to get back.
I totally agree.
You know, it's we have love. Yeah, love continually goes on, but trust is the hardest of all to get back. And I've lost trust on a couple of different relationships. It's just my personal experience, you know, I don't but yeah,
PB,
you know,
PB,
that led in.
briefly,
Yes, sir. Yes,
if
sir.
you would briefly, if you care to describe what was it that caused you to lose trust. If you could be brief.
Well, when somebody tells you that, you know, oh, I'm not going to see my ex-husband or anything like that. I'm not hanging out with other people that I shouldn't. And then you find out the opposite of what they're really doing
So lies
is,
right.
you know, yeah, it changes my opinion and it changes my trust.
Gotcha.
So those factors have weighed into the ultimate decision to part ways.
Gotcha. I totally understand. I understand, and I absolutely appreciate you. So, and you guys, and real quick, I also wanted to congratulate you on starting your new YouTube channel. I think it's PB Travels, isn't it?
Oh, man, I hope. Wait till tomorrow when I post tomorrow's video. I have so many bloopers from my first week. I mean, I make myself laugh because I watch them over and over again. But thank you, Rich.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rich and Cheng. You guys inspired me. I love you guys.
Thank you, PB. We appreciate you, man. All right.
All right. Have a great night.
You bet.
Okay.
All right. So, okay, you were saying? So I agree with everything PB said, and I have probably a little bit more to add to that. So, okay.
So I think that you were talking about being agreeable. So I think being agreeable is you can also have your opinions, but sometimes your lack of experience and your ego gets in the way. So I think a lot of times that hinders you from, just like me, I think I hinder myself from being teachable at times because I push back because I give my opinion because I think that I need to share what I need to share without thinking that it's the right time for you to be quiet and listen to what your partner is saying.
Okay. Fit, feminine, friendly, and agreeable.
Opo.
Agreeable. Let me ask you, and actually, if we could just open this up to everybody in this audience right now. I think we have 19 on right now. What do you guys? What is a quality woman for you? Describe. Give us a call. You got 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Give us a call and describe your quality. What is a quality woman? What's a quality woman? We'll start with a quality woman, then we'll talk about the low hanging fruit. But what is a quality woman for you? I'm going to stick with fit because fit matters to me. Feminine, absolutely, the woman who acts in her feminine nature, and friendly, right? The woman who can go out, she can be friendly. She can get along with your family, your friends, your colleagues when she needs to, and she can fit in and be a kind of the supporting actress, the best supporting actress, if you will. And then agreeable. And I think that's really, really important. I think that's super important that the woman needs to understands how to take that a back seat and when to listen, when to talk, and when to listen. Call in and give it to me. Give it to me. William Landlord said, Cheng is quality. William, give us a call. Here's the number. The number is right here. Tell us why you think Cheng is quality.
And
right?
before we move on, William, I think that's a new name. Welcome to Richie Rich.
Absolutely.
And I think later on, as we go through our discussion, I think that I'm not gonna say that I'm quality, because there are some qualities as I go through the talking points that made me realize that I'm not a quality woman sometimes.
We'll keep talking about this, but first, I would love for you guys to call in. Here's the numbers right here. Call in, give us your take. What makes a quality woman? That's what I want to talk about first. But as we're taking these calls, um, we'll kind of talk about the low hanging fruit. So first of all, when it comes to the low hanging fruit, okay. Morris is calling in, so we'll take Morris's call on this. Okay, Morris, you got 2 and 2, brother. Hit us first. But first, before you start, how you doing out there, bro? You doing okay?
Yeah, man, everything is good in Bermuda. Just some high winds.
Okay.
A few power lines went on, but nothing major.
Okay.
No loss of life. Flooding in on roads, but no houses. So,
all right.
We're pretty hilly, so not made any major damage.
All right, good to
hear. So we fared very well.
All right, good to hear. Give us 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Give it to us. What makes a quality woman? And if you want to, you can say what makes a woman be considered low-hanging fruit. But let's start with the quality woman.
Okay, quality woman, just like you were saying before, fit, feminine, friendly, and able to have good relations with family, and also knows boundaries when it comes to a relationship. Not having direct messages. I wouldn't say messages, but ongoing conversations with your ex, and things of that nature. And guys are in your DMs, messaging, giving you this what's a word I could say that's very appropriate?
Attention or validation? Yeah, maybe.
Yes, attention and validation from seeking. So for me, and not being on, for me, it's like not posting everything that we go through or things that we do on social media.
Right.
Because social media, you can get a lot of wrong information. And we're not, for me, I don't try to impress anybody. So I don't want my information on social media. And I find that even today that a lot of women's social media is so important to them.
Right. Want to post everything. Want to post everything on their social media, all their business, all their everything. Okay. I agree with that. I definitely agree with your take on what a quality woman is. Don't let this be the last time, even in this live stream, that you give us a call. We'll appreciate it, and we'll move on to the next caller. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Mo.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you guys, give us a call in. What's the quality? So the topic is, what is a quality woman? We're talking about the importance of choosing a quality woman here in the Philippines, right? So let me ask you, if you choose a woman who's fit, you choose a woman who's feminine, you choose a woman who's friendly, but what if she can't follow instruction? What if she can't take instruction? What if this woman that you choose never been anywhere, never accomplished much, never done a whole bunch, never has very little experience, but she can't follow instruction? She can't learn. What if she is always pushing back on you? Always pushing back. Anytime you give advice, there's pushback. There's an argument. She wants to defend. She can't accept accountability. Would that be a quality woman? She's fit, she's feminine, she's friendly, but she can't take instruction. She doesn't learn very well. Would that be a quality woman? Keep calling in, you guys. Give me your calls. Quality woman. What's a quality woman? How do you define a quality woman? That's the topic for right now. But when it comes to the low-hanging fruit, the low-hanging fruit is maybe the woman who's easily available, very easily available. Maybe you think you might have hit the jackpot, right? But maybe you picked up some fruit that nobody wanted. Maybe you picked up some fruit that nobody actually wanted. Or maybe you picked up some fruit that was already discarded. That was discarded that nobody wanted anyway. Maybe you say, oh my God, I hit the jackpot because she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful and she looks so feminine. But maybe there's a reason she's single. Maybe there's a reason that that fruit is so, that hanging so low. Maybe there's a reason for it. Okay. What is a quality woman? That's the topic of this live stream. A quality woman versus the low hanging fruit, and why it's so important that you avoid the low hanging fruit. I would maintain that the woman you choose in your life is going to have so much to do with the happiness that you have or you don't have. I would definitely maintain that. All right, let's take this next call. All right, and it just looks like it's probably, I think it's Black Box, okay? Cool, hold on just a second. Black Box, give it to us, brother. Quality woman.
Hey, what's up, Rich?
What's happening?
I'm all right. It's Black Box with Tyrone. There's a Cheng they call by my Twitter name.
What's happening? Quality woman.
It's all about you.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, you know what I always preach in the comments. It starts with you and your particular trauma and what you bring, what baggage you're bringing.
Indeed.
If you're solid in your frame, you're solid in how you carry yourself and stay firm on your standards, the flaws will show itself. No matter how good she looks, no matter how she carries herself, as long as you take time and you devoid yourself of pure emotion and just examine her for what she is, the flaws will come. Someone who's there to compliment you, to not so much compliment you, meaning that she's your left or right arm. Meaning that you can live without one arm, but you do better with both your arms. So a woman is an extension of you. So if you look at a woman as an extension of you, everything falls into place.
She should be an extension.
Meaning that
right?
She'd be an extension of you. Meaning that she has her own life, but she's your Robin to your Batman.
Okay.
If I use a comic
that.
metaphor.
Okay.
Right? Robin's very important for Batman. It kept him from going into the dark. The lightness of Dick Grayson kept Bruce Wayne from killing people, basically, as the lore goes. Okay. So your woman is your peace and your calm, and she provides you with the femininity and the softness to keep you in frame, not to break you down. So that's why I said it's not really complicated. She's your extension of who you are.
Right.
You find someone like that, she's everything. I'll use a friend of mine. He runs a channel on YouTube. It's called It's Me. His name is Corey. His wife is Raquel. He met her, moved her to Chicago, brought her back, and now they have a house in Dominicana. They look great. Everybody loves the guy. The wife's always cooking him food. She don't need his money because her family's got money. She takes good care of him. They're always laughing. They always go places. I talk to him on Instagram.
Oh, did we lose him?
I think so.
Black Box, I think we lost your call. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why. But I think we get your point about what a quality woman. She should be an extension. She should be an extension of you. And I always use this 80-20. I always say 80-20, right? There's going to be that 20% that maybe you don't like, but you can tolerate, or you just, it's not your favorite part of her, but you can tolerate it because it's just, people tolerate each other. She tolerates your 20, right? But that 80 more than makes up for the 20, right? The 80 is just astounding. The 80 is out of this world. And you say, okay, I got that. The 80 is fantastic. But what if it's not 80-20 no more? What if it's 70-30? Or what if it's 60-40? Or goddamn, what if it's 50-50? What if all the things she brings just as much headache as she does peace, right? Today she brings a headache. Tomorrow she brings peace. The next day, a headache. Next day, peace. What if it's not 80-20 no more? What if it's 70-30 or 60-40? Or if it's 50-50, then you've really failed in choosing a woman. But But what if it's not 80-20 no more? What if she is fit? What if she is feminine? What if she is friendly? But what if she's just not agreeable? What if she can't take correction? What if she can't listen to advice? Is she still a quality woman? Somebody else was calling, I think it was from Chicago or extended, or someone was calling from Chicago. Please call back in, and we'll take your call right now, and we'll get your opinion. The question is, what is a quality woman? Slick Rick, Slick Rick, I know you're right here. Okay, we'll take this call real quick. And then Slick Rick, I want you to call back, and I want you to call in and tell me what you think a quality woman is. After this call, we'll take this call first. All right, Richie Rich and Cheng on the line. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. What's a quality woman?
Yes, Mr. Richie Rich. My name is Adrian.
Turn your sound down, sir. Turn your sound down.
Turn my sound down.
There you go.
I mean, turn the volume
Yes,
on
Miss-
your YouTube, please.
Yeah, the volume on your YouTube, let's turn that down if you please.
Turn that down.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How you doing, Mr. Richie Rich? My name's
Outstanding.
Adrian Marshall out of Chicago.
Nice to meet you,
And I've been
Adrian.
watching y'all show, and you two are hilarious, and y'all go well together.
Thank you.
However,
Thank you so much.
How to find what's a quality woman?
Mm-hmm.
A quality woman is a woman that she compliments you, she assists you, she takes direction, she's always willing to help.
Okay.
A feminine woman, she will not push back. She will not be argumentative. She's always looking to add to and always looking for a solution. That's something Western women has lost. Myself, I'm a Marine veteran. I was in the Philippines over 38 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The women over there are what we call traditional women. The way the women were here in the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And they're right. Every woman wants to be secured and taken care of.
Absolutely.
And you all are right. You get some back from them. They enjoy doing that. That's not a task.
Mm-hmm.
And a quality woman will not combat you. She'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
She'll seek to understand you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's always open to learn because you're the head. But here's the thing. If you look to your left and look to your right, Cheng, his head don't move without the neck assisting. If the neck don't assist him, head ain't doing nothing.
Right.
That's how the two complement each other and go together.
They're supposed to complement.
I appreciate this time, and I did subscribe to you, so you'll be hearing more from me.
Thank you so much. Hey, listen, first and foremost, before you get off the phone, don't let this be the last time you call in. We appreciate you calling in. We appreciate you joining the fam, and thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. Okay. I like that. I think that call just epitomizes my feelings on this topic. It epitomizes my feelings. Slick Rick, give it to me, brother. Give it to me. What is a quality woman? Give me a call, bro. I know you're right there. What's a quality woman in your opinion? So that's the topic. We got a lot more to talk about. But first thing first, let's talk about what is a quality woman and why is it. We could talk about why it's important to choose a quality woman, but what's a quality woman? Give it to me, Slick. All right. While Slick Rick is on getting ready to call in, I hope he's calling. He might be watching some football behind the scenes. But okay. I personally, it's my opinion. He said everything I think. He said every single thing I think. She needs to be able to take direction. A feminine woman can take direction. She can listen. She can, especially if you are in a relationship here in the Philippines, when very likely the woman you're with has not traveled extensively. You're probably substantially older than her. You probably have a lot more experience than her. It would be really, really important for you to choose a woman who can follow instruction, who can listen to instruction, who can follow that, who can seek advice, and who is willing to listen and adapt. And if you don't have that, it can become a very toxic relationship. Okay. What your thoughts, Cheng?
I think that having said what you said, following directions, I sometimes struggle with following directions, and I think that one of the comments said that I'm a quality woman. I'm going to say that I think that I'm not, because if I'm a quality woman, then I should be able to listen without talk back, because I talk back. I I push back. Okay, sometimes I don't accept criticisms, just accept them. But sometimes I talk, I listen and accept criticisms, but there comes pushback sometimes. So I
Okay.
don't think I am
Okay. Let's take Morris's comment on
okay.
this. Okay. He wants to add to what he said before. All right. And Morris, go ahead, man. 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Of all the points, the main thing is just got to bring peace.
She's got to bring peace, brother. She's got to bring peace.
Got to bring,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that she could have all the other attributes. If she ain't bring you peace in the relationship, you know, it's gonna be a hard sell.
Morris, you know what? You don't even need to say any more in this conversation. You said everything that needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to bring peace. The 80-20 you can deal with, because we all have our flaws. Nobody's going to be the perfect partner. You're not going to like everything about me. I'm not going to like everything about you. But damn it, she's got to bring peace. She's got to bring peace. She has to bring peace.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else? Anything you want to add to that? I think that was perfect.
Nope. That was it.
Thank you, brother.
That was it.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
All right. Okay. You know what? We hadn't. I don't know if we mentioned that before, but in my book, that is key. It is paramount. I have zero, and I mean zero. I don't have family stress. I don't have work stress. I don't have financial stress. So if I'm going to add someone to my life, they have to add to what I already have. They have to bring peace. They got to bring peace. Okay. All right. Let's look at some of the comments. Look at some of these comments. First comment. William Lanford said, Cheng is quality. Okay. We appreciate that. Appreciate your comment, William, and thanks for joining the fam. Always appreciate that. And interesting. Obi-Wan said, what's wrong, Cheng? You're usually smiling. What's wrong, Cheng? You're usually smiling.
Yeah. I caused some problems, so I'm not smiling.
It could be. Alistair said, working, fit, agreeable, friendly, feminine, but a must is respect. A must is respect. Outstanding. Okay. Alistair said quality has its levels. Okay. I agree. Alistair said, you want to go ahead and read it?
All parameters has levels, but you need to know your levels. Some are stronger than others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right.
Men also have levels. Some are too strong.
Some are too strong. Some men are too strong. Okay. All right. All right. And Black Box said, I agree with you, Obi-Wan. Something feels off. Something feels off. Okay. All right. Slickwick, I'm still waiting for your call, brother. What is a quality woman? Still, let's see. Obi-Wan said, out with it already. You can see it. Something feels off. Let's see. Alistair said she is competitive. Okay. Tiger Ronnie said, yes, but a headache too. Okay. All right. So, argumentative. Okay. All of these things, a headache, argumentative, competitive, are these the things, even if your woman is really beautiful, even if she's fit, even if she's feminine most of the time, do you want a woman who's argumentative? Do you want to, is it important to you that she's agreeable? Is it important to you that she can follow direction, especially if you have a woman here in the Philippines, maybe, who really has zero or close to zero experience, who hasn't experienced what you've done? Maybe it might be raising kids, it might be travel, it might be life experience, it could be business. do you really care if your woman can follow instruction, if she can listen, if she without being argumentative? Is it important to you? Slick Rick is calling in. I've been waiting for your call, brother. Give it to us. 2 minutes and Slick Rick, because you're my boy, I'll give you 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Give it to me. Uh-oh, hold on, my bad. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know if I could really add much more than what everybody's already said.
Okay.
Other than peace is probably the biggest thing that a man can ask for. I mean, without peace, you're just not going to be happy. That's the bottom line.
Right.
That's the bottom line. I mean, I'm not here to combat. I'm not here to have somebody, compete with me. I just want somebody to agree with me, or just, let me have my say. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But mainly just the peace.
Right. But what if she's fit?
That's all I can say.
Slick, what if she's fit, though?
I mean,
what if she's beautiful?
That's all like icing on the cake, if you will. I mean, that all falls into play. But if she doesn't have peace, then it's really not worth it, in my opinion. I would tend to think that I'm thinking I'm going to have to try to move on to the next one. That's my thought.
I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Right? She can be beautiful.
I mean, as harsh as it may seem, I mean, because you're the one that's going to be looking for what you want, and if she doesn't have the exact qualities, maybe you can work on some, maybe you can fix some, but that ultimate idea of having the peace, man.
Peace it's paramount. It's paramount. Okay. Anything else? Anything else to add?
No, other than the fellow that the Marine that called, man, thank you for your service, and that guy was spot on.
He nailed it.
I don't think anybody could top what he said. Not, that's he said it perfectly. There's not much more that I could add. That maybe you could add, or there's really not a whole lot.
Yeah, he nailed it. He absolutely did.
So,
okay.
But,
all right, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your service.
Sure.
Thank you, Slick Rick.
Thanks, man. Love you, man. All right,
everybody be cool in the chat.
Okay. All right, so she can be fit, she can be pretty, she can be all that stuff, but if she don't bring peace, you might have to cut her loose. You just might have to cut her loose, because peace is what we want. Okay, let's read the comments. Let's get up in the comments. Clint P is in the house.
Hello,
what's up,
Clint
P? Right. Let's see, where we at. Okay, Raymond's in the house as well. Okay, you want to go ahead?
If she cannot follow instructions and can't or won't learn, I am not down with that.
Raymond, I hear you, Raymond. Okay, all right. Let's see. Go ahead.
Richie, if the woman can't take instructions and won't listen, I will not be with her.
Right. Okay. All right. I got you. All right. We'll keep these. Let me know if I miss a comment. Okay.
Hello, Chuck. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Chuck? What's going on, man?
A quality woman is one who understands your assignment and willingly acts accordingly.
Right. Okay. All right. And all right, Tiger Ronnie. Now that I understand that Tiger Ronnie and Ronnie are the same person, I'm calling you Ronnie, dude. I've been calling him Tiger this whole time, not really knowing that Tiger Ronnie and Ronnie was the same dude, right? I'm calling you Ronnie because we met. We sat down, we broke bread, we drank together. You're Ronnie to me. All right, go ahead.
Low-hanging fruit has probably been picked before many times.
Many times. Or maybe it hasn't been picked. Maybe it's been looked at and discarded. Maybe it's been looked at and looked over and said, no, don't want that one. That one's not the one I want. I can see that one just doesn't fit. Just doesn't have what I need. Maybe not sweet enough. Okay, all right. Okay, Obi-Wan said,
I care most that she has my back on all levels. I also want someone chill and relax.
Chill and relax, right? She's got my back. She's chill and relax, right? Why do you think chill and relax is important?
So you don't stress out in the relationship. And also I think that I also think that she should not be controlling, and she should be grateful for what her partner is doing, and also not demanding, and also not asking for money. And she needs to be nurturing, and she needs to know how to take care of her partner.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with all those, right? Alistair said, so a mature woman with no kids is a bad sign. You know what? I don't know, Alistair. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad sign, but I would say it's a yellow flag. I would say it's a yellow flag because I'm going to tell you here in the Philippines, the fact is you are not going to find very many women 35 plus that don't have kids for whatever reason. I'm not saying maybe bad decisions, maybe this happened, that happened, whatever the reason, you're not going to find very many women 35 plus with no kids. So when you do meet one, you might want to ask yourself why this woman is not married and why she doesn't have a partner and why she's never had kids. Right? You might think, oh my God, I hit the jackpot. But did you really? Did you really? Maybe she might be that low-hanging fruit that we're talking about. Maybe people see her as the low-hanging fruit that they just don't want to touch, that she's not a quality woman. Maybe, right? Whole bunch of different ways to look at it, okay? PB said, go ahead.
Low-hanging fruit doesn't make her ripe. She could be rotten on the inside. Sometimes we don't know until after the harvest.
Exactly. Sometimes you harvest, sometimes you grow it, you water it, and all that stuff. And sorry about that. And it turns out she's not the fruit you want. It's not the fruit you want. You can do all that stuff. You can grow it, you can seed it, you can fertilize it, you can do all that stuff. But if she can't follow instruction, if she can't take direction, if she can't take correction, then maybe you might have to get rid of that person. Maybe you might have to, as Slick Rick said, you might have to just move on. Okay. Next, let's see.
So Tiger Ronnie said it could just mean she is smart.
Could mean. It very well could mean that. It very well could. Okay. All right. Alistair said.
Big smile, please.
There you go. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Cheng, you look like it's the end of the world. Okay. All right.
Okay, Clint P said, forgot to hit the like, trying to see what y'all talking about. Done. Thank you so much, Clint P.
Thanks, Clint P. Always appreciate you checking in and following us. A quick shout out to Christopher Michael. What is up, brother? Thank you for the super chat. Always appreciate that.
Yeah, click it so the audience can see it.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Right. And thank you for that. Always appreciate that super chat, Christopher Michael. And you guys, just really quick, we always appreciate any support you give. If you send money, then that's phenomenal. But I really want to say the fact that you guys are here, you're joining the live stream, you're joining the conversation, you contribute to the quality of the show is awesome, and we really appreciate that. Very seldom, I think the only time we ever solicited any kind of funds was for the donation for the typhoons, which has really has really helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
So for those of you who did donate for that for the typhoons, we want you to know how much help you have, how much you've helped a lot of people. So thank you for that, right? But as far as we're not doing the soliciting money. Please give us money or anything. We're not doing any of that stuff, but we always appreciate it, right?
Yes.
So thank you for that, Christopher Michael, and thank all of you guys for contributing to the quality of the show, right? Alistair said 80-20 is an interesting concept. Alistair, that's how I look at it. I look at it very simple, right? No one is going to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect for her. She might like a whole lot about me, but there's going to be some stuff she doesn't like about me. Maybe my standards are too high. Maybe I have high expectations or whatever. But there's going to be things she doesn't like about me. Maybe I'm overweight in her mind. Maybe I'm too X, Y, or Z, or who knows? Maybe she doesn't like how I do X, Y, or Z in bed. But that's the 20%. But you can tolerate the 20% because no one's going to be perfect. And vice versa, you can tolerate that 20% in her because she's not going to be perfect or have every single quality you like. But what if that 20% becomes 30% and it's 70-30? Or what if that 80% that 20% becomes 40% and it's 60-40? How are you getting peace from her? How are you getting peace from her if it's 40%, if 40% of what she represents you don't like, or it's difficult for you to tolerate? How are you getting peace in this relationship? How is this a relationship that is something you want to continue to move forward with? And that's my question, right? All right. Let's see. All right. And Morris said, no, Alistair, she's made wise choices not to have kids, right? And Morris, I would like to agree with that, and for the most part. Or maybe she didn't have choices. Maybe nobody wanted to make kids with her. I'm just saying. There's two ways to look at it. I will say this to everybody that comes here. If you meet a woman that is 35 plus and doesn't have kids, you sit down with her 2 times, I guarantee you will quickly find out why she's single with no kids. I guarantee you will find out, and you're going to find out that a lot of it ain't her choice. Guaranteed. Okay. All right. Frank Ellis said, is Cheng having tampo? Absolutely not, Frank, because if Cheng was having tampo, she wouldn't be sitting next to me, brother. She would be somewhere outside of my condo. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. We don't do tampo here. We don't do it. We don't tolerate that here. Okay. But thank you for asking. She doesn't look as happy as she normally looks, does she? I wonder why that could be. Okay. All right. And Alistair said, or nobody wanted her. And Alistair, believe me when I tell you, because there is no substitute for experience. This is experience talking. You sit down with a woman that you meet here that's 35 plus and has no children, who's never been married. I promise you are going to find out within 2 meetings why she has no children and she's never been married. You're going to find, and I bet you're going to find out that only part of it is her choice. I bet. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay. All right. And Obi-Wan, so what if it's just a bad stretch? It could be. It could be just a bad stretch. Okay.
I think that also, adding to what Obi-Wan said, I think sometimes, they have a saying that when it rains, it pours. When bad things happen, all the other days, it's just bad days. And also, just to add what you said about having expectations, what if you already have those expectations in your mind, and you set those expectations in your mind? She's a good woman, but she cannot meet your expectations, and it keeps disappointing you because those expectations are not met compared to you. You can't help but compare, your current partner from your previous partners. And I think that, that's human nature to compare, because you've been in relationships and all that. So I think that, a lot of the time, there are, maybe she is really trying her best, but the best wasn't good enough. So I think.
Okay. And sometimes, I'll quote my brother, sometimes it bees like that.
It what?
It bees like, it's bad grammar, but my brother just says that. Sometimes it bees like that. And sometimes it is what it is. Yeah. You want to fix that? There you go. Yeah. Sometimes it just is what it is. Sometimes maybe in your eyes, maybe in his eyes or in your eyes, maybe he's done the best he could do in trying to provide and protect you for you, but it's not good enough for you. What if your expectation is more than what he can provide? And to the same point, what if the woman that he chooses, what if she's done her best, but what if she just can't meet his standard?
Because experience already showed you that you can meet these expectations with this woman. Now, so what if she's really good, but that's her level. As one of our commenters mentioned, that's the level. So what if she reached the ceiling?
What if then he has to say, you know what? If this is the ceiling, either he can accept that or he can't.
And also, I think one of the quality of a good woman is that she's willing to change herself so that she can love that, or willing to change herself, and at the same time know that how his partner wants how her partner wants to be loved, and she will change herself so that she will fit in that description.
But what if she can't? What if she can't get out? How many times? So, And again, we start shifting from the quality woman to that low-hanging fruit. What if you meet this woman who can't get out of her own way? What if you meet this woman? She's cute. She's fit. A lot of times she's friendly. She presents herself as friendly. But behind closed door, what if she's argumentative? What if she can't accept correction? What if she can't be accountable? What if she's not responsible? What if you have this woman who is fit? She is feminine, but she's none of the things that you need to have a long-term relationship. What if she doesn't meet that criteria? Then what do you do?
Then what if also if that woman she knows she's inexperienced, she's naive, and sometimes because of her naivety and inexperience, a lot of times when she's just sharing her feelings, it comes off as pushback.
I think that woman should seriously consider what she's thinking. She should seriously consider what she's hearing from her man. She should seriously consider his level of experience, his knowledge, his expertise, and all the things that he brings to the table, and ask herself why she chose that man. And ask herself, is it really important that she gives her pushback or that she gives her opinion at that time, as opposed to listening to correction and taking accountability for her actions, what she does, what she doesn't do, what she knows and what she doesn't know, and be willing to say, hey, you know what? This guy knows a lot more than I do. This guy's experienced a lot more than I have. This guy has been to way more places. Maybe I should just listen. Instead of trying to tell him what I know or what I think I know with very little experience, maybe I should just listen.
Maybe
that's what I think.
Okay, adding to what you said,
Please do.
I think that when men and women talk as certain topics that are serious, I think that men most of the time come in with a logical standpoint, and I think that the women take that logic and take it emotionally. So I think that it doesn't meet halfway because we come from different standpoints. You come from a logical standpoint, and I come from an emotional standpoint. So a lot of times that's why some partners don't understand each other, because you don't both come from logical standpoint. The other comes from logical and the other comes from emotional. So if you try to mesh that, how about, so what if you're logical, then the woman will try to be logical, but what if she's emotional, then try to look at it
So
as
should the guy be emotional too then?
No,
Should he respond emotionally
I'm not saying
start
that.
getting in his emotions?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that try to understand it from your emotional standpoint.
Yeah, but you can understand it from your emotional standpoint, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't override logic, reasoning, and experience.
Because
so if you're emotional and he's being logical, he's being reasonable, he's using his experience, he's using his expertise to tell you something. He's supposed to care about the fact that you're being emotional and you don't want to listen or you can't accept correction.
That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying at all is that a lot of women, aside from security and safety in a relationship, most of the time, because we are wired emotionally, you want to be heard you want to, that's why sometimes it comes off as pushback to most men. It comes off as pushback where in fact you're just sharing what you're feeling, how you view what you're experiencing. You want to view that with your partner, because isn't it that your partner should be the first person that you can confide your feelings with, and you can share your thoughts and feelings, because if not, then you would seek outside the relationship and look validation somewhere else.
You might, and that might be a
problem.
That might be a problem, and it might be a good thing for that person to go outside and go somewhere else to get validation. However, I would say this: if you're wanting to be heard, there's a time for everything. There's a time for everything. And if that woman is wanting to be heard, maybe she can listen to the correction. Maybe she can listen to what her man is telling her, that she's chosen because she feels like he's a good leader, and she can accept the correction or accept what he's saying with a closed mouth and accept it, and maybe she can at another time bring up the things she wants to be heard about. But maybe in that moment, it might be best and most and very prudent for her to be quiet and listen, because she's getting a wealth of knowledge and experience. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. I think that's when I struggle the most.
Is it really?
Yes, Paul.
I see. Okay. Let's see what the comments say, right? Napoleon said, go ahead.
Napoleon said 80-20 is probably good for me, but 90-10 would be great.
90-10 would be phenomenal, but I don't think it's, I think that's above what, I mean, it's an A if you're thinking about it. Let's take this call. I think this is Black Box calling back in. Hold on, Black Box, let's get you in here. Did we do this? Oh, wait, hold on a sec, hold on, just a quick second. There we go. Gotta keep it on. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt what you and Cheng were saying. And I don't want this to come off badly. Okay. But the way I deal with the situation when a woman's emotional, and please don't take it as a disrespect, Cheng. I try to treat it as if I'm talking to my daughter, if I have. When I get into some kind of, when I know a woman's emotional and I'm trying to speak to her in a logical way, but trying to sound emotional at that, meaning I would sit down with her, hold her hand and say, darling, this is what you're trying to tell me. Understand? Has to be blah, 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 because of blah, blah, blah. So this is what I'm trying to say. I hear what Cheng is saying, and a lot of times we tend to stay so Mr. Spock on things. We don't tend to understand Nurse Chapel side.
I like that. Spock and Nurse Chapel. Good. That's a good analogy. Black Box, that's a great analogy. I appreciate that.
So I know some people who know Star Trek know the characters.
Yes, I'm well familiar with them. Yeah. It's a great analogy.
So I try to, because women, if you watch women on TikTok, they act like 14-year-old girls. They're 30 years old. Sure. I want it, and I want it.
It's all about how I feel in this moment. It's all about, I need validation for how I feel in this moment. But I don't. But as a man, we can't always care. We can't always care about how you feel in this moment, because we understand it's going to change.
We don't have to. We don't have to care. It's about de-escalation, almost like with a cop does.
Okay.
Hostage.
Right.
Meaning your whole thing is you want to de-escalate the situation before somebody shoots somebody in the head or kills a hostage. Right?
Black
so what
Box.
do you do?
You made some great points. Great points. In fact, I really love it. I'm glad we brought this topic up. I'm super glad, and it's something that needs to be talked about. So
because I'm hearing Cheng, and I'm saying, Cheng, I agree with you. There are ways to be things to be said logically, but you can do it wrapped up in a nice lollipop that they can take down.
Right. Okay. Well said. Well said.
That's it.
Thank you, Tyrone.
Thank you very much, Ty.
Sure thing.
Appreciate you, brother.
No problem.
All right. Morris got another comment. We're going to take this call. Hold on a sec. Let's get Morris in there. And I think he's on. Morris, go ahead.
Hello, Mo.
Okay. I think he butt dialed us. He butt dialed us. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Smoothly is in the house. Smooth. What Smooth got to say?
Hello, Smooth. A woman who is and evolve both personally and as a couple. You can trust her words. She wants to see you win. She respects her relationship with you.
Okay, I like that. I definitely like that and appreciate that. We'll take this, and then I'll kind of respond to what Smooth said. Go ahead, brother.
Mo?
Is he butt dialing us?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, he's not butt dialing. Okay, go ahead, brother. 2 and 2. What you got?
Hi.
Hello. What's up?
We hear you.
I think
Okay.
can't hear us.
I think you can't hear us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I agree with this. Okay. Let's get to some comments because we're getting
Okay.
all right. And Frank and Alistair and and Obi-Wan said it's very noticeable, bro. Right? Okay. So they're picking up on some energy. Okay. Let's go ahead and read some more
I
comments.
thought you're going to respond to smoothly.
You know, I will.
Okay. Dong Sheng Di.
Mm-hmm.
All the Filipino women I've met told me that they want someone who can really, 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 really take good care of her. They don't know a multimillionaire.
You know what?
Multimillionaire.
Dongsheng. Here's something interesting. They want this dude who can take good care of them, who's got the money, who can, but they don't know what they need to bring in return. And the key is peace. The key is peace. The key is peace. And if she's not what if you take good care of her? What if you're taking her out? What if you're hugging her? What if you're a great leader? What if you're a good leader but not a great leader? What if you're good to her kids? What if you're all those things but she doesn't bring you peace? What happens if she doesn't bring peace? Right? What if it's no longer 80-20? What if it becomes 70-30 or 60-40? Then what do we do? Okay. All right. So great comment. I appreciate that. Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Tiger Ronnie said when she says no to sex, then something is wrong.
I've never had that happen. Thank God. Thank God that's never happened to me. But yeah, and hopefully it'll never happen. Right. Let's try to take one more call from Morris. Morris, we got you on here, bro.
Like, I don't know what happened earlier.
Okay, we got you now. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes, we got you.
For some reason, you drop out.
For some reason, we thought you're butt dialing us.
Yeah, we got you though, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, for some reason, you drop out. I can't hear you.
Okay, then we got you now.
All right, cool.
Okay, all right. Sorry about that, Morris. I'm not sure what's happening here. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of weird. Anyway, okay, well, we'll get get through the comments. All right, and let's see. Black Box said, "Wow, my here you go. Go ahead."
Wow, my stupid cellular service dropped the call. So I think we're having problems with.
No, but I don't think it's on our end. Maybe it is. It could be. Could be, but I'm not sure if it's on our end. Okay.
Okay. Alistair said, the master smoothly. This guy has the playbook.
I think that's my dude. Smooth is my dude, right?
Thank you so much, Smoothly, for your super chat.
Appreciate the super chat, Smooth. Really, really appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And the comment as well. And the comment. And going back to Smooth's comment. It's a woman who's willing to grow and evolve with you personally. Growth involve the ability to listen, the ability to take. How do you grow if you can't accept correction? How do you grow if you can't accept responsibility when you make mistakes and someone corrects you? How do you grow when you are not accountable for your actions? How do you grow when you respond to everything with emotion and you're emotional instead of being able to take correction or being able to accept instruction when it's needed? How can you grow?
I think that it comes also with timing. You know, a lot of times it comes with timing. What if that's you at the most part or in most relationships, you want to address the situation or you want to address the problem immediately, a lot of times. But what if sometimes, that is not the right time for you to address that situation, but of course, immediate feedback is necessary as well. So she listens to it and then make some realizations the day after. What happened?
I am not sure.
Okay, so what if she accepts, she hears you, she shares?
I think I just figured out what happened.
What?
I think we had two calls on at the same time.
Gotcha.
I think it was two calls on the same time.
Okay, all right. So what I do think is that it comes also with the timing, just like what Black Box is saying, comes with timing as well, because you have to also she's learning, she's listening, but sometimes it takes a lot for her. It takes some time for her to process what you're saying.
I agree with that point. And here's my question. How long of a learning curve is too long? How long? So she's listening, she's learning. What if that learning takes 5 years? Because remember, we're talking about a lot of gentlemen who are in their 50s and their 60s. What's the learning curve? If she would it not be important for her to be a fairly quick learner? So if you're with a woman that you have to tell the same thing to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times, at what point do you say, you know what, maybe maybe this isn't going to work? If you're telling the same thing over and over and over and over, and she's not picking it up, she's learning, but it takes 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Well, by that time, he's 63 years old. By that time, he's 60 years old. By that time, he's a lot older. He is burning daylight with that woman. And at some point, he will have to decide, do I stick with this woman with the slow learning curve and who might be learning, but she's learning at my expense? She's learning on my time. Or do I cut bait and, as Slick Rick said, move on and find a woman who might be more adaptable, who might be more acceptable to correction, and who might be a quicker learner and who might bring peace?
I have 2 answers to your question.
What's answer number 1?
Answer number 1 is that if I'm going to answer like what most guys are answering, I'm going to choose move on to the next woman because you're burning daylight, as you said, and then you don't have much time left. So I think another thing is that, yes, it burns time. Learning takes time. It differs from one person to another. And eventually, when you're at that time, you already programmed her to be the best, to be whoever you want her to be. Like you taught her just the things that she needs to learn, although it may take time, but at the end of it, you're still going to reap the benefits of what she learned.
When is the end of it? When is the end of it? Is it 5 years later? Is it 10 years
I don't
later?
know.
Is it 5 months later? When is the end of it?
Again,
when do you reap the benefits? At what point do you reap the benefits? When she finally gets it, or when she learns, or when she accepts the correction, or when she understands it and gets it? When do you reap those benefits?
I don't have an answer to when, because there's no timeline. For me, there's no timeline. As long as you see that, there is that willingness to learn. Although there may be, at this moment, there may be some pushback to it, or you may see it as,
why does he want the pushback?
Of course, he
doesn't
want the pushback.
Why would he deal with that woman who has demonstrated that she knows very little, that she has little experience as in comparison? Why would he deal with her pushback?
It's not pushback. Sometimes it just comes.
It's not pushback. Now.
Sometimes she's just like what Tyrone is saying. She's just trying to let you understand from her standpoint.
Maybe she should do that at a different time.
Okay, then
maybe she should choose a more viable time to do that, instead of when she's receiving instruction.
Okay, po.
Alistair said, would you like to read his
Quality
comment?
woman brings peace every day.
Okay. I agree. Alistair, I fully agree. Okay. All right.
Woodley said, what's up, everyone? I always like to be in the background. Love this couple channel. Thank you.
We appreciate you being in the backyard. We appreciate you coming in the doors, Smooth. You are fam, brother. You are absolutely fam, and we appreciate having you in here, right? Okay.
So the Black Box said, another vet is here. Good to see a lot more veterans in this chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. And Obi-Wan said, it happens. Okay. And Black Box's next comment?
It happens. It's learning process, Cheng. You recognize that you have some things to work on. That's a positive. A lot of women don't even see their flaws.
Right.
Thank you so much, PV, for your super sticker. Thank you for giving us a super sticker.
Absolutely. Much appreciated, PB. Always, again. And Obi-Wan said 80-20, right? And I don't know if someone else made that up, or if I made that up. This is how I do it. In a month, this is how I look at my life. In a month, I'm giving myself 80, actually minus 85%. I say 85% of the days in the month are going to be awesome. They're going to be great. They're going to be excellent. They're going to be phenomenal. And they're going to be productive. 85% of the days. every month. And that means I get 4 to 6 days that are not so good days. And I'm okay with that because life is never going to be perfect. There's going to be ups and downs. But what if you are in a relationship with someone who's taken away from that? What if now it used to be 4 to 6? What if it used to be 2 to 4 days, but now it's 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 or 10 to 12? What if you're in a relationship with that kind of person who's taken away from your peace? But what if she's fit? What if she's pretty? But what if she's taken from your peace? What if she's not adding to your peace? And that's the question for today. Okay? All right. Obi-Wan said maybe need some 420, right? I'm super mellow today, and the 420 is not needed from me today. I don't think Cheng would even partake, but for sure, right? Tino is in the house. What's
Hello,
up, Tino?
Tino.
Welcome to the fam, and appreciate your comment. You want to go ahead and read that?
If your life depends on choosing a woman, good or bad, you are in serious issues. Never let a woman, good or bad, decide your quality of life.
You know what? A woman should never decide your quality of life, but I guarantee you this, Tino, she can add to it and she can detract to it. She certainly can. If again, no one can choose your happiness except you, but the people you bring into your life can add to your happiness, and they can certainly detract from it if you let them. Okay? All right, but I absolutely
And also
agree.
sometimes also. So I had this word that struck me.
Mhm.
So I think that it's also how you react. Sometimes, like for example, to myself, like I react negatively because I think that it's it's not just feedback. It's what's another term? It's not criticism. It's like sometimes it's hard to look at it as feedback. Sometimes it's hard to look at it as criticism. Sometimes you feel like you're, when you receive a lot of feedback, mostly negative, so it kind of grows in you. It kind of makes you grow tired. That's what it means. Okay. So sometimes um you grow tired of all those negative feedback, and sometimes it sucks, but you
Go ahead.
you sometimes it's not necessary. And I think that this is where I fall short, that it's not necessary, but sometimes you're just overwhelmed with a lot of negative feedback. That's why
What if you need that for growth?
and it's
What
sometimes
if you are in a position where you have a lot of room to grow?
yes.
And I'm not saying you, I'm making a generalization. But what if you're a person who really needs a mentor? What if you're a person who could really benefit from having that kind of tutelage, whether it's your mother, whether it's your partner, whether it's your boss? What if you need that to grow? What if that person or those people recognize that you have a lot of potential for growth, but you need to grow, and they're offering you a chance to improve yourself or to better yourself and give you feedback constructively?
Yes.
And what if it's so hard? Then what should you do?
I think I will still go back to timing, because she hears what you're saying, but just give her a little time lang, maybe overnight, to let her process what you said, and then she'll bounce back from it, and then letting you know
But
that
what if she doesn't bounce back?
She will.
But what if she doesn't?
If she doesn't,
what if it takes years for her to process it? It's all going to be at my expense, right? And all I'm looking for is what? Peace. But what if, as she's processing it, what if it takes a year? What if it takes 2 years? But see, I'm in my 50s, and that's the audience is that we're in the second half, right? So we don't have 2 years to burn waiting for someone to process it.
What
right?
I'm saying is that, for example,
Let's take Morris's call. Hold your comment. Let's take Morris's call. Morris, we got you now. And
You can hear me?
Yes, we got you, and you can hear us. I know you can hear me.
Hey, I don't know what happened earlier.
It was on my end. It was on my end, and I figured it out. Sorry about that.
One thing let me back up. One thing that I did with inside my inside my marriage was that we had our discussion is that, you know, when either of us was expressing something, that we would take time to listen and don't reply right away. So if I had to say something that I was upset about or I didn't agree with that went on, I would say it. And our rule is you give yourself at least a half an hour to an hour and sit down and really try to understand what I said. And if you have any questions, you come and ask me, and then you can reply.
It's a good rule. I like that.
So that way, that way you got a chance to say it, so you know you don't give your reply right away. You want to think about what you're saying and make sure you understood what was said.
I like
you know,
It's an excellent rule. It's an excellent rule.
That's how we avoided. And sometimes I had to tell her, you know, even after my time. Listen, I'm right now. I'm not ready to give you my opinion or my decision or what I think right now because I still need more time.
I'm thinking. Let me think about that. Right. Let me think about what you said. Let me process that, and then let me get back to you. Right. And let me give that some thoughts. Maybe let my emotions simmer. Right. Isn't that anything else to add to that?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you again. As always, we appreciate you, Morris. All right. It isn't a sign of maturity. What if you had a man who every time he got emotional and he was upset, he socked you in the eye? Would you say he's immature? Would you say he had anger problems?
I think so.
You would say so, right? You expect him to act. You expect him to not act emotionally, right?
Okay.
You expect that. But shouldn't we have the same expectation of an adult, mature woman? For her to not act emotionally, for her to understand that when she acts emotionally, there are consequences. For her to understand that and to act accordingly. So maybe it might be, as Morris said, maybe it might be better for her to just listen in that moment and say and process the information, calm her emotions down, let them simmer, and then let me think about this and respond later, or maybe we can come back and have this conversation later, right? But when she has what you call pushback, this pushback, which is a nice word for talking shit, or for talking back, or for not being able to follow and listen to constructive advice. Pushback, it's a nice polite term, I think. But you say, well, it takes time.
It takes time.
It does take time. How much room? 2 years?
No. I mean, for example,
okay.
You and your partner have a disagreement the night. Then give her time to process. Give her both.
What if you give her that, but it still doesn't? But you still have the same problem 2 weeks later. What if you give her that, but 2 weeks later you still have the same problem, or 2 months later you still have the same problem? You talk about it then, and then a month later you still have the same problem. You talk about it then. How much time do you give her?
I'm going to answer your question by this. I think that when you're a woman who is inexperienced, you are going to be the teacher, and sometimes teaching.
I'm sorry, when you're a woman who's inexperienced, you're going to be the teacher?
When a foreign man is with a woman who is inexperienced, that foreign man most of the time will become the teacher. And sometimes teaching is training. It's draining, it's tiring, it's frustrating, especially if that student or if that woman can't get it the first time, second or third, or fourth or fifth even. So I think as to me, in my opinion, it's just you see that there's willingness to learn. She's open for learning. But she needs to.
How do you define willingness? When you say willingness to learn, how do you define that? When you said, but there's willingness to learn. How do you define that willingness to learn? How does she show, or how does that student show that willingness to learn?
I think that willingness to learn comes with, yes, okay. So I'm not saying.
Does it come with pushback?
Sometimes it does.
Does it?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Then I'm not. Then I'm not the teacher for that student.
Wait lang po.
Okay.
I'm not saying, because I'm talking about me, okay? So
Okay.
let's just I'm just talking about me. I'm talking about myself, that when sometimes you teach me, I push back. Okay? Sometimes I give you my opinion, which is not needed at that moment. That's where I fall short.
Okay.
I open my
I want
mouth.
you. I want you.
What?
I want you to take a breath right now. I think it's important that you take a breath right now. Okay? That's what I want you to do. I think it's important that you take a breath right now and just relax. Okay? Okay. Let's read some comments. Why don't we do that? Okay? William said.
William said, "Lol, you're not perfect. No one is perfect."
No one's perfect. Nobody. That's why there's that 80-20.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one's going to meet. No one's going to be 100. It's not going to be 100-0. And I think 90-10 is very, very, very. I mean, it might be reached here and there or sometime, but I don't think that would be. I don't think it would be reasonable. A reasonable expectation, right? Okay.
Back to the Philippines said, "Magandang umaga sa iyo. What's up to you, Slick? Ironic how what I will share with you guys when we meet. This ties exactly this topic tonight. It's okay, Cheng. Cheer up. You are pinagpala. Yes, I am blessed, but sometimes I don't recognize my blessings because."
And Wooey, what's happening, brother? What's happening? Thanks for joining this topic. This is a great. I really think that we chose the perfect topic at the perfect time. The perfect time. So I really appreciate that the comments, the call-ins. You guys, if you have, we're talking about low-hanging fruit and why it's super important to choose a quality woman when you come here to the Philippines. Because here's my point. Here's one of my points is that when you get in the Philippines, there's going to be a lot of pretty women. There's going to be a lot of beautiful women, and a lot of women are going to give you a lot of attention. But a lot of those women, there's a reason that they're single. There's a reason that they're not desired by some other men. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit here. And it's very easy to grab that low-hanging fruit because it looks so delicious and it's right there. But there's a reason that nobody else has grabbed it. There's a reason for it. So choosing the right woman and choosing a quality woman in the Philippines is imperative. It is crucial. Okay, let's read the next comment.
Obi-Wan said, "Everyone feels how they feel, and sometimes things are said. As long as there are no disrespect, it's all good, right?"
And you know what? Shout out to you, Obi-Wan, because for me, when it gets to a point where there's disrespect, I would leave that relationship immediately. There's just no room for disrespect in the relationship, especially when you have a woman to a man. There's just no room for it. When she gets to a point where she's just disrespecting you openly, the relationship it's been over. So shout out to you for that. And luckily, there's no disrespect here. There's not any kind of disrespect between us at all. And I'll give a shout out to Cheng for that. She's always, I would say a high 90% of the time, very respectful, right? And no, again, nobody being perfect, but shout out to Cheng for that, right? You want to read PB's comment?
PB said, "The one thing that we all need to understand is that we all have needs for improvement. She will need to improve, and so do I. As long as we work together, we'll be able to make a perfect relationship."
Right. I think that's a huge comment, PB. The fact that we all understand we need to improve. Nobody's going to be perfect. There's not going to be a perfect teacher. There's not going to be a perfect student. There's not going to be a perfect relationship. There's no perfection. I mean, maybe in a fleeting moment there might be something that is perfect, but trying to catch lightning in a bottle is next to impossible. So we just realize that we're just part of the equation and that it's just not going to be perfect. But what is peace? How important when we're talking about perfection and not having it, how important is having peace in a relationship? How important is it being in a relationship where your partner brings you peace, where they're constantly adding to your life? Okay?
I read this quote,
Mhm.
and it said that women are reciprocating reciprocators. Women are reciprocators. I mean, if you provide you give money, she'll convert that money into a home, into a house, or a house into a home, and then that food into a meal, something like that. So I think that also in a relationship, I think that the energy that you give to your partner will be the same energy you get back. So I think it's like a mirror. Okay, so it's like a mirror. So a lot of times, sometimes we look at it at the lens, at her lens, not at your lens. And sometimes we also, as a woman, you look at it as his lens. He gets frustrated, he gets disappointed because you did this. And sometimes it takes longer for some people. Sometimes for some people it's really quick. I hope that, for the most part, that women just like me takes quicker time to process, and quicker time to learn, and learn to learn to know the proper timing when to give your opinion.
You used the analogy before of a student and a teacher, and you said something about the teacher has to be patient and right. But should the teacher expect that student to argue with him? When the teacher is teaching, the teacher has an expectation too, which is that the student will open up, will be receptive to what they're being taught. But if the student starts arguing with the teacher, how long do you think that teacher is going to want to teach that student?
I'm not sure.
How long? I'm pretty sure. How long do you think that teacher is going to want to continue to tutor that student? At some point, that teacher is going to say, you know what, I can get other students. I can have other students that are going to be more receptive. They're going to recognize my ability or that my expertise or my knowledge in this topic, and they're going to pay me the same amount. That student is going to pay me the same amount, and at least they'll be receptive.
What if in the mind of the teacher she's arguing, but at the same time on the mind of the student she's just asking questions?
Do you think the teacher has no idea? Do you think the teacher doesn't have enough experience to understand the difference between asking questions and someone arguing? Do you think the teacher doesn't have that experience already?
I think he does.
I think so too.
I think sometimes, sometimes it's frustrating that that interpretations of people are different.
Indeed.
So you interpret it the way how you interpret it, and it doesn't always come out the way you wanted it.
Understood. Want to read the next
So
one?
Nap said, I come from a family of teachers, and one thing to keep in mind is that someone's ability to learn is also dependent on the teacher's ability to teach and adapt to different teaching methods.
Naps, that could be up there with comment of the day. I think that would be next to the Marine's comment, the comment of the day. So so a lot has to do with the teacher, right? So you have to adapt your methods, right? You have to, right? If one thing's not working, you got to try something different. Do you agree with that?
Okay.
So if one thing isn't working or one way isn't working, you got to try something different, right? What if that doesn't work?
Maybe in your mind it doesn't work.
What if in the teacher's mind? Well, how does the teacher decide whether it worked or not? Wouldn't the results would dictate whether or not it worked, right? That the student behaves or gets it, and they can put it on paper, or they can work, or they can solve a problem in the future based on what they learned, right? But what if the results show that that the second method didn't work, and then the third, and then you try a fourth or a fifth or a sixth, and those didn't work? Then what do you do?
It's up to the teacher to decide.
It's up to the teacher to decide. Okay. All right. All right.
But for me, since I am a teacher also,
you get paid to teach.
And you also do. But
but I don't get paid to teach in a relationship, do I?
Yeah, I know. I understand. But it takes a lot, even more, because you get paid. Just like you follow your boss, you're in a work, you get paid. That's why you're doing your job. But
my students don't talk back to me.
Of course.
My students don't push back on me. They listen and they learn, and they take constructive criticism because they're paying me to give them constructive. They listen to instruction.
That's why being in a relationship is unrewarding. sometimes.
It shouldn't be. I think it should be rewarding.
It is rewarding at some point, but sometimes it's unrewarding at certain times. But also at the same time, you may not see the benefits now, but you'll reap the benefits in the future.
When would that future be? Would it be years later when the teacher is in his 60s or 70s?
Not really.
Would it be years after taking away from that teacher's peace? Would you like to read Alistair's comment?
Why females don't understand peace? You say it over and over, but they don't understand.
I don't think they do, Alistair.
Mhm.
I don't think they do. I don't think they understand it until you are forced because of X, Y, and Z to make changes. I don't think they understand how important peace is to a man, especially a man in his middle age years, who has been through so much, who's worked so hard, who's grinded, and who just wants to live a fruitful life. He just wants peace. And if they can't if they can't add to his peace, which he should already have, but if they're coming in and they're detracting from that peace, I don't think they understand that they're forcing you to make decisions. They're forcing you to. Okay? Okay. Obi-Wan has a comment. Would you like to read
Someone who does everything exactly the way you want and think how you want, that's kind of
Absolutely.
like
Who wants that person, right? I don't think anybody wants a person who does everything you want exactly the way you want, but we do want someone who's willing to follow instructions, who's willing to accept constructive criticism, and who's willing to if you are giving constructive advice that will be beneficiary to that person, I think it would behoove that person to follow that advice, especially if they're in a relationship with you.
And sometimes you also need to you put yourself into somebody else's shoes. You put yourself in the position of the student. So just like what Obi-Wan said, what if that person wants you to deliver, wants you to be X, Y, and Z, and it as a student you want to give the best result to your teacher, but unfortunately at times that's what you can give. That's like for example in a relationship, that's how you that's the way you know how to love that person.
Right.
That's you give everything that you need to give, but it always comes short. So
then at some point the teacher and the student have to come to that point where they have to decide maybe the student can't learn from me. Maybe the student needs to learn from someone else. And maybe my teaching methods are not suitable for this student.
Sometimes it's but for me, this is just for me. I don't know about the others, but I'm not the person who's just going to give up about something. So life is hard. Life is life is difficult, and I think giving up is a show of weakness. That's sometimes to me.
I'm going to disagree with you. I mean,
Okay,
I hear what you're saying, and I don't. But Alistair said earlier that sometimes maybe women just don't understand the concept of peace, of what peace means to men. And that would be my response to that. Right? Okay.
She can bring Mr. Nightwalk. Welcome to Richard Abroad. She can bring the table the same as me. Maybe not as much, but the same. Cheng is always hard on yourself. I don't think I cannot say for now that I'm a quality woman, because going through the talking points about a low-hanging fruit, I think I qualify for some of the characteristics of a low-hanging fruit. So
I don't know. Ronnie's comment?
So when I was a young guy, it was nice to have someone to push me. But now it's about having a peaceful and happy life.
Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. It's been pounded every at least every other live stream. That message keeps coming out from the whole entire audience. The whole audience is saying the same thing: how important the concept of peace is. And if you're with a partner who takes away from your peace, you have to. And I agree with Tiger. I absolutely agree with you. Would you like to read the next comment?
I would agree to the first comment of
of Tiger, the first part.
Mhm.
Because when you need, I don't know if it's some people, but again, you need someone to, you need, some people are driven, born driven, or but some people needs help, needs push.
How would you push that person?
Mhm.
How would you push that person who needs help or who needs to be pushed? How would you push them?
Teach.
Would you teach them? Would you give them constructive criticism?
Opo.
Okay.
And sometimes it hurts to hear those
Mhm.
criticisms because the ego gets in the way.
Yeah, that
Because
ego.
that ego gets in the way, and she thinks that she knows things, and she wants to prove that she knows some stuff too. Because there are times that you all before you know that you know that you know things, but in reality, after meeting X, Y, and Z, you realize that you don't know stuff.
And you learn that at the teacher's expense.
You learn that, unfortunately, at the teacher's expense.
So the teacher
But
has to go through. Go ahead.
the
I'm sorry.
teacher is providing you with that opportunity to learn. And the student will always be thankful for that opportunity given to her, because the opportunity sometimes should be given to a person before she can grow.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that. The opportunity has to be given, right? How do you give that opportunity?
By allowing her to experience things she hasn't experienced. But
Mhm.
then again, the downside to it is that at the expense of the teacher, because a lot of times here in the Philippines, the Filipina is inexperienced for the most part, and the foreign partner has the most experience. So how can she get that experience? By providing her that experience. That's what I think.
By providing her that experience, right? But what if every time you provide her with that experience that you mentioned, what if every time, or what if a lot of the times when you're providing that experience, what if there's always some, what do you call it? Pushback. Some pushback.
Because
I love that term. Some pushback.
some pushback.
Mhm.
You, go
Right.
ahead.
How often do you think? Uh, how much do you think the teacher is going to feel appreciated if every time he provides that experience or those experiences to his student or pupil or partner, how much pushback do you think he's going to appreciate when he's providing those experiences,
Of course.
when he's using his time, his effort, his energy to instruct her, to give her constructive criticism or to give her some instruction that will absolutely benefit her, and she knows it will benefit her. How much pushback do you think he's going to appreciate
He's
coming
not
from her?
gonna appreciate the
I don't
pushback.
think he will either. I don't think he
He's
will
not
either.
gonna appreciate the pushback. That's what
Okay.
I really understand, because sometimes this is where uh you know you regret opening your mouth. That's
Yeah.
when you regret opening your mouth, because your opinion is not important at that moment.
Sometimes
Because
it's just not.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just better to take to
Mhm.
listen. If it's something that can help you, if it's something that can help you grow.
Mhm. And sometimes it sucks, because it takes it takes a lot of time, and it's on the detriment of the partner. So
It is. It is. Would you like to read Clint's?
Clint P said, the older we get, the less we will take BS.
Clint, you're so right. You are so right, brother. You get to a point where you've worked hard to bring you put yourself in a X financial situation and to bring peace and tranquility into your own life. And the older you get, the less you're willing to accept somebody taking away from it. Right? Okay. Let's take Black Box's comment, but before we do, maybe we should press that button. Okay. Black Box, go ahead, bro.
It's me. Yeah.
Go ahead. We got you.
It takes a lot for me to call 3 in one night or one day. Now, there's a flip side to that.
Okay.
If you don't recall, Rich, it's called Tampo. Now, I've dealt with a Filipina with Tampo, and every little thing I did, I got Tampo. I would much rather have a woman that gave me some kind of feedback and talk to me, whether it's chaotic or not, so at least I can get a range on what her mind is at. And going back to what I said prior and how to de-escalate. But if she's not saying anything to me, it's like I'm talking to a wall. That is even more frustrating to me to get a little pushback. Because in my old job when I was in service, I was an E6. I had to deal with a lot of privates and you know, guys underneath me and give them things to do that they necessarily wanted to do. And they didn't like it, but you know, I was never the bad guy. I always found a way to make them do what I wanted to do and make them feel good about it. So
you have to give positive reinforcement, right? So it sounds like
So when it comes to a young lady, when you're asking the time frame, you should already know if you're dating a girl. And I'm sorry to call you so much. You already dating a girl. You're in the Philippines, right? And you got yourself right. Meaning you're coming over there correct. You ain't got nothing scatterbrained jumping around like buzzing bees in your own stuff. You got your own mind right, and you're out there and you're meeting somebody. You have to have a certain frame of reference what you want from the gate. And you let them know exactly what you want from the gate. This. Do it in a nice way. And then if you see the first thing wrong, and if you're as rigid as you want to frame it, then you leave it right away. You don't work on it. You leave it.
I agree.
But if you tend to be a little flexible, and like what Cheng said, if you see some kind of potential, you give it a time frame. Because a lot of people say you date people for like a year or 2 years before you decide to marry them or get in any kind of long-term relationship.
And
so,
in 2 years,
answer to your question,
and in 2 years, you should have a pretty good idea, right? You should have a pretty good.
So under that time frame, if there's not been any kind of successive movement within that 2-year window, then you talk about walking away. But you give her every opportunity to stumble and pick herself back up on that way and see some kind of aggression. She's arguing less. Because like I said, I'd rather have her say, no, I think, than just sit there and look at me like she's a robot. And I have to click the on button.
Yeah.
Tempo killed me.
Yeah, and thank you for that again, Black Boxes. I appreciate you. I mean, we don't want the robot, and we don't want the yes, honey, no, honey. You know, I don't think I'll speak for myself. I definitely don't want that. I want somebody with their own opinions, their own ideas. So thank you for that, and I'll respond to that off the air. Okay, so appreciate you.
Okay, all right. No problem.
So, do you want to respond to what Black Box said? Okay. So I think he made some really good, some really valid points. He said a year to 2 years, you know, you have to give it time, right? To give it time. And in that year or 2 years, you have an idea of how long. You have an idea already of how long. What if you've given it a year? What if you've given it 2 years? And can we be very clear for the sake of this conversation, that when we say pushback, that's a really nice word for arguing, for being argumentative. Can we just agree with that? That pushback is just kind of a nice term for being argumentative. Disagree?
Sorta.
Well, okay. All right. So I guess it's interpretation, right? Okay, fair enough. All right. I take it in my mind. I think of it as a very nice way of being argumentative, of someone who has a difficult time following correction or accepting correction, that they push back, right? Well, but I think this, or I think that, or what about, right? Instead of following the correction from the person who's substantially more experienced than them, who has substantial more knowledge in X, Y, or Z areas, they want to push back. You disagree with that?
I don't disagree with you.
Okay, fair enough, right? Fair enough. All right. So, well, let's get back into the comments. Someone says, Mr. Nightwalk says Cheng is having an off night, right? Big Boss is in the house. What's up, Big Boss?
Hello, Big Boss.
What's up, man? Ty Woods is also in the house. Ty Woods, you want to read his comment?
Ty said, listen, guys, I have daughters. What I'm saying is, I taught my daughters to be so independent, strong, but when you say to listen and follow instructions, you're losing me. Our relationship is so 50-50.
We'll take this comment, and then I'll respond to that. Okay, Texas. Who's calling from Texas?
Back to the Philippines.
Hello.
Back to the Philippines. What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on the topic, I guess, what's going on for like the past 10 or 15 minutes. I'll just give it to an analogy of what Richie is saying in a lot of words. Richie's a teacher. I'm the student. He provides a curriculum. He knows everything about it, top down, A to Z, beginning to end. He knows what could go wrong, what will go wrong, and he's taking all the time the preventive measures to ensure that you go through this curriculum and you succeed and soar through the air with flying colors. In the event that anything that goes wrong, he's there to protect you. He's there to guide you. He's not going to let you steer he's not going to let you steer the negative direction. He's not going to let you fall back. He's going to help you. Everyone has their own pace as to making progress. Everyone works at their own speed, you know. And I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to be curious. But he's the teacher, so to an extent, I can't exactly give him pushback because he has all the experience. Since he has all the experience,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. Can you say that last thing again, please?
He has all the experience. Experience comes with wisdom. And not only does experience come with wisdom, he's probably made the mistakes 15 times, and he doesn't want any student in his class to make those mistakes 15 or 17 times. He's already exhausted all the time that's been created to make this curriculum. He doesn't want to waste any time. Now, in the moment, it may look like, it may feel like, it may seem like he could be wrong, but since he has the experience, it's not about him just being wrong. It's about him actually having the general understanding of what it actually takes. Because maybe to an extent you haven't been on that other side, but he's been there. He doesn't want you to go to the other side because when you do, you lose time. And everything comes back to one thing. I really think it's just time. So that's just my 2 piece. I just want to say that. He's the teacher, the teacher's the king, and the teacher just knows what's best for you. You may not see it, but in retrospect, when you have a retrospective within yourself, you will begin to understand more. And that understanding will come with appreciation, and that appreciation will come with more respect, and that respect will come with more trust. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. Okay. Would you like to respond to that?
Noted.
Okay. All right. Very well said. There was a comment before. There was some about 50-50.
It's you.
Did I pass it?
That's it.
There we go. Okay. Ty said, you're losing. But when you say to listen and follow instructions, you're losing me. A relationship is 50-50. And Ty, you know what? In general, I would agree with you. But let's be real. When you come here to the Philippines and you're in a relationship with a woman, you're from the US or a Western country, you're in a relationship with a woman here who likely has never been off of her own island, who has never been out of her country, who has experienced very little outside of her own culture, whose education is limited. You have a distinct advantage, and I also believe you have a responsibility to teach. And that woman expects you to teach. And therefore, we can say that a relationship is 50-50, but it is not, sir. It is not. Because you are in a position where you need to be a teacher. And you have to teach her, and she's gleaning knowledge from you. And therefore, I don't think it is 50-50. I would love it to be in general and in theory. DG, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's happening?
I'm just me and the wife took a trip down to Cali, so we're chilling on the weekend.
Oh, nice.
Go back in the middle of the week.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at in Cali?
We're down in Thousand Oaks area.
Oh, nice. Okay, down in SoCal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hanging out with my nephews and stuff. I hadn't seen them in a while. They SC alums. But no, I just want to get on the point of being a teacher or instructor or a leader. Do you feel you're a failure if you don't get to every one of your students? Get to every one of your students?
No, but I love this analogy. But what if you only have one student? If you don't get to that student, If you don't get to that student, are you successful or are you a failure?
I don't think you would be. I mean, if you tried everything, maybe he just can't get it from you. You know.
Then they need to find another teacher.
But
right?
I'll say this. But do you have more W's than L's?
Way more dubs. Way more dubs.
Okay, then that's how you have to. Then you have to measure on that. You know, everything. You know, everything's a win and loss. Everything we do is a win and loss, pretty much. You know. So I mean, as far as somebody, I mean, getting on my page, I mean, yeah, I kind of do a lot of things for my wife now that she doesn't have to think. She just asks me or do this, that. Okay, cool, no problem. All right.
Okay.
But you know, I know she got to do these things, but she don't have to. You know,
exactly.
If she doesn't want to, now she's got a choice.
You said she knows how to do these things. How does she know?
Yeah.
How does she know?
Yeah, I've taught her.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, she took my instruction.
Exactly. Exactly. And now you don't have.
But yeah,
that's
all I had, bro.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So that's
all I had, though, bro. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, you're the teacher, so hey, maybe you just didn't get your style. Everybody's not going to get. You know, somebody else can get through them. Maybe you couldn't.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Right.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Okay. All right. Peace out, brother. Love y'all.
A response to DG? No? Okay. All right. So Ty Wood, you want to read his next comment?
Ty Wood said it's based on trust on both sides. It sounds like the way you guys are saying it. She has to listen and bow down to whatever you're saying, not my daughter's respect goes both ways.
Yeah. You know what, Ty? Much respect to you, first and foremost. But I don't expect anybody to bow down to me. But I will say this, and some people might disagree, and that's okay. When you come to the Philippines and you're in a relationship with someone who is more than 15 years younger than you, and you have an extensive amount of knowledge, extensive amount of experience, you are in a position where you are going to become a teacher. And if you're not teaching her, then what are you doing with us? What are you doing with her? If she's not learning from you, if she can't learn from you, and if she's asking you, she's saying, hey, teach me, show me. But every time you teach or show, there's pushback. Nobody wants to be bowed. I'll speak for myself. I don't want to be bowed down to at all. And I would never say that I'm not respected. I would never say that. I think Cheng is phenomenal when it comes to being respected. I think some boundaries have been put in place where we understand that's imperative in such a relationship. So I would never say Cheng is disrespectful at all. Having said that, I don't think it's a matter of being bowed down to. I think it's a matter of being able to, when you're in that position where you're expected, when someone has put you in a place where they're expecting you to lead them and they're not following your instruction or they're not following your correction, then you have to make a decision as to what to do. And it's just that simple. That's all. There's no bowing down to me or no, I'm God or I'm anything like that. I don't feel like that. I've never felt like that. And that's what I would say. Okay? All right.
Routine consistency. Welcome to Rich Rich Abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So what does a quality woman look for in a man?
That's a great question. Right? And it's kind of not off topic, but you know what? What do you look for? What would you look for in a man?
A man who I feel safe with,
and
a man who can provide and protect, and have a sustainable relationship.
That's pretty simple. That's okay. That's it. And if you got that man, if you found such a man, what do you think he would respect in return? What do you think he would expect in return?
He would expect the same thing. He would expect to feel safe in the relationship, so he doesn't need to look elsewhere. Provide. As a woman, you should, as all men in the comment, provide peace. That's what he wants. And what else? Men are simple
And most of the time, women don't understand the concept of peace.
Would you, as a Filipina, and we'll look at this from a Filipinist point of view, if you're in a relationship with a man, and I'll use us as an example, our relationship, we have a 15-year age gap. Do you expect that man to be somewhat of a teacher?
Yes.
Okay. Do you expect him to have decent leadership qualities?
Up.
Would you follow him if he wasn't a good leader?
If he was.
If he was not a good leader, would you follow him?
No.
Would you be respectful to him if you felt like he wasn't a good leader? Would you respect him?
I don't think so, because leadership comes with respect, and when you respect that person, I think that person earned the respect.
You earn it.
Apo.
You earn it. Okay. So if you respect, so part of what would that respect entail? So if you respect that person, what does that entail?
Results. Because the results, if that person showed you the results that you need to see, then he earned that respect.
Right. So if that person had a resume that said, "Hey, I've been here, I've done this. Look at my resume. Look where look what I've accomplished." You're going to say, "Okay, wow, this is a guy I think I could get behind," right?
Apo.
But then if he showed you over X amount of time that he's a leader, would you respect him more?
Apo.
What does that respect entail you following his correction?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Ty Woods said, okay, I think that's a football stuff, right? But Jira Projects said, love the stream, guys.
Thank
Jira
you,
Projects,
Jira.
thank you. Welcome to the fam. Isn't that like a brand name?
No.
Jira Projects?
I'm not sure, but I checked it out. It was a YouTube channel also.
Oh, is it really? Okay. Jira, welcome to the fam. Always appreciate you commenting. Call in if you want to. We love having people call in and add to the quality of the conversation. So welcome to the fam, bro. All right.
Morris's comment is also choppy.
right. Everything's choppy right now, right? But I think his was my fault.
Yeah.
I think I was still on another line. I think I was on another line when Morris
direct
was calling.
line.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's see. Black Box said, maybe the earthquake is in the back of their minds, Obi-Wan, right? All right. Okay. Like Tiger Ronnie. I can't say Tiger anymore. Ronnie, thank you we appreciate the super chat for donations for rice or something to help the Filipinos that are in need. Another suitcase coming again. Tiger, did Ronnie? I don't know. Did we tell him we opened the bottle?
Yes,
We opened one of those. We opened one of those bottles up a couple of nights ago, a few nights ago, right? We had a long night of work, and we sat down and we actually Friday night we opened one of those bottles up after work, and hey, it was righteous. It was righteous. Actually, we figured out really quickly that if you just let the ice
melt a little,
let it melt a little bit, perfect, right? Thank you very much for that, and thank you for the donation,
Ronnie.
brother. Okay, looking forward to seeing you again. All right. Let's see. I think most of these comments about you. She was laughing on the video this past week. Right. No laughs today. No laughs today.
I don't think it's appropriate for me to laugh.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. All right. And Jiris, are you guys okay from this? Are you guys okay from this Earth this week? I think it is supposed to be earthquake. Yeah. And Jira, it didn't hit us here in Manila. It was mostly in Cebu. The epicenter.
Cebu.
Yeah, the epicenter was in Bogo, Cebu, and it did. I mean, 6.9 is no joke. 6.9 is definitely no joke. So, but it didn't affect us. But we do know some people who live there, and it's been pretty tough, right?
Yeah, we just hope that everybody who lives in Cebu right now, I hope everybody's safe.
Absolutely, right. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's get back into this.
So Obi-Wan said, with those bad are there, then it won't work. People don't really change that much.
I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with that.
William said you should never change who you are for someone unless it's something toxic that you were already doing, like smoking, not fit, not kind, not loving, etc.
William, I agree with that. You can't change who you are, and at some point, and that's the deal with relationships. You're in a relationship, and you get to a point. I think my own opinion is when you're in a relationship, you're going to change who you are because you're going to adapt, you're going to adjust to this other person that you've added to your life. So you're both going to change. You're both going to change somewhat, but to completely change who you are, completely turn around and be somebody different, I don't think that's your genuine. I don't think that's genuine. I think that's just now you're not being who you are, and you're probably not the person being the person that he or she chose you to be in the first place. So I agree with that, right? Manny Ayala said it's getting deep, people, right? Manny, welcome to our channel. Welcome to our live stream. We appreciate you joining the fam. If you have comments, if you want to call in, feel free to call in and add your 2 cents to the conversation. This is pretty good. I agree. Okay.
Okay, so hold on. But you guys keep on saying, what if the woman can't accept correction? What if the man can't accept correction? That's the part you're losing me. Like I said, should be 50-50.
You know what? It's the same thing applies. If the man can't accept correction, if he needs correction and he can't accept that, the same thing applies. It's not different. It's no different. It's not a man-woman thing. I think if the partner can't accept, hey, this is I'm telling you this because I need you. I need you. Help me help you. But here's the point, and I think this comment's a little old. It's an hour old, so I'll just make the point again, though, that in our relationship, we're in a position where I'm 17 years older than her, have a significant advantage when it comes to experience, a significant advantage when it comes to education, a significant advantage when it comes to life
In general, yes.
in general. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? If you meet a man, if it's me or another man, do you expect that man to teach you? Do you expect that man to impart his knowledge to help you to learn, to give you some of that 17 years of experience? Okay. And that's my response, Tiger or Ty. Sorry, I don't think. I think it would be great if it was 50-50. But I think when you come here to the Philippines, it's not going. Maybe it can be 50-50 in some ways, but I don't think it's going to be 50-50. I think it's a transaction. She's giving you something and you're giving her something, right? And in that form, maybe it should be 50-50. But if you can't bring something to the table as well, and that something to the table is always going to include knowledge, it's going to include your wisdom, your experience that you're imparting on her, then she's losing. She's losing by choosing you. She's losing by default because you add nothing to the table except money, and she can get that from somewhere else. That's all I'm saying, right? All right. So Alistair said,
sometimes you need to slow your roll. Repeat what you want to say in your head first. It takes time to retrain yourself. Yes, I will keep that in mind. And sometimes, when you know things already, it's hard to unlearn what you already know.
Yeah. William said.
Also, just because two people are great people doesn't mean you're compatible.
Boom. Very true, William. Very true. Okay. Obi-Wan said, I'm with you, Ty. Okay.
Sass in the Philippines said, please extend some grace to each other because no relationship is ever perfect. You both love each other, so work it out. Examine yourselves and recognize arrogance as well as stubbornness.
Okay. Great comment. Great comment. Okay. Ty said, I'm telling you it goes both ways. My daughters are strong, independent. Mine too. My daughter's very strong and independent. They don't take BS. They're loving and respectful, and it goes both ways. But as far as bowing down, the correction part is BS. Ty, I'm going to give you a distinction between your relationship and mine, is that your daughters Your daughters are tied to you for the rest of your life. They're your daughters. It's not a personal relationship. They're your daughters, right? You can't divorce them. You can't get rid of them. You are stuck with them, and they are stuck with you. No matter whether you get along or not, they are still going to be your daughters. And that's the distinction between your relationship and this one, sir. Okay? All right. All right. Hassan said 1 + 1 = 3. Okay. Obi-Wan said, I'm so confused, right? Guys, read between the lines. Okay. Alistair said,
I agree. You seem to have done a fantastic job on preparing your ladies for the rough life. How it works for a relationship, I am not sure.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Marquise.
Hello, Marquise.
Hey, Marquise, what's up, man?
Sometimes correction comes from a personal attack.
Comes as a person.
Comes as a personal attack, and the other person is trying to defend themselves. Just miscommunication, just miscommunication.
Agreed, Marquise. Agreed. Okay.
Hello everyone from Kalinga, Luzon. Happy Sunday. I hope you are doing well in Kalinga. We've watched the news and it's bad out there. So I hope you're safe, Alan, and your wife and your family.
Absolutely. Our shout out to you, and our prayers go out to you and your family. Right. All right. Let's see how we're going. Back to Marquise.
Marquise said, sometimes correction comes from a personal attack and the other person reply is them trying to defend themselves. Just miscommunication.
Okay.
Mr. Nightwalk, we are not stupid. We know you're fighting on air.
Wouldn't this be the nicest fight you've ever seen? Okay. Let's see. None of our business. Hey, Slick.
I think it is very important for us to share, experiences so that you learn from others, even without needing to learn that experience from yourself, as someone told me earlier today.
I think the reason why I actually wanted to do this live stream is because I think it's apropos. Sometimes people, because you're on a live stream, because you're having fun, because we do have a lot of fun.
Yes.
And someone mentioned our last video. We had a blast making that video.
Yeah.
that was a fun video to make. But trying to pretend like that's always, like that's how it is always, is just not true. It's fictitious, right? It's a fallacy. And I'm not down for doing the pretend thing. The fact is sometimes there's going to be problems. And a lot of times there's just going to be issues. Sometimes it may be cultural. Sometimes it may be between two different people. Maybe you're just not compatible. I don't know. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm perfect. I'm not going to pretend like I expect perfection. Someone said bow. Someone used the term bow down. I don't know. Do you feel like I expect you to bow down to me?
I think you expect me to follow what I'm told.
I do. All the time?
Most, I think.
Okay.
95% of the time.
Okay, fair enough, right? Okay. And there's something to that.
Yes.
There's something to that.
Uh-huh.
As someone said before, I think that there's a certain amount of wisdom, expertise, experience that comes with that. And so when you know what you're talking about, and because you've been there, you've done it, you've experienced it, you've listened, you've seen or heard or read about other people experiencing it, and you're trying to impart that onto someone else who is pushing back, then I think that's kind of hard to accept.
It is.
And I think every couple goes through this, and that couple has to decide how they're going to handle this, especially couples in a age gap relationship and cross-cultural relationship. They're going to have to decide how they're going to handle this and how long they can handle this. And I think we have. Okay? All right, let's get through these comments. All right, let's see. All right, Ray in the Philippines.
Hello, Ray.
What's going on,
Thank
Ray?
you for joining us.
Okay. You want to read his comment?
Good morning, y'all. Sorry I missed start. Had a long phone call. Okay. I hope everything is well on your end.
Hope all is well, Ray. And that's okay. You can catch up. The good thing about these lives is you can always catch up and catch up at the end if you want to, right? Let's see.
Jessie Moore is here. Beautiful day in the Bay. Thank you so much for joining us,
Yeah,
Jessie.
Black Box is on point. See, he picked it up, and that was the problem with Morris's call, is that we were still connected with a Black Box, and so Morris was calling in, and we could hear him, but he couldn't hear us. Okay, so we got that solved, right? Jesse Morris had a beautiful day in the Bay. What's going on, Jesse? Hassan said,
I believe the gravitational pull has strings amiss. When you hear about the higher magnitude quakes, you already know to be on alert.
Okay, good point, right? All right.
So Ray said, I'm going to have to rewatch Bringing a Couple Filipinas to Sky Ranch Amusement Park in Tagaytay.
Oh, nice. Nice, very good. I was there. Well, I didn't go in, but I was right there. I was right there before. Okay, cool. Nice place. I like that, right? Okay.
So Alan, retired in the Philippines, said, when is your next meet and greet? Sorry, we missed the last one.
We'll make an announcement at the end of this live stream, and in regards to that. Okay. Let's see. Black Box said,
if you're an old ranger like I am, you can try to teach her within the time frame of getting to know her, and it doesn't pan out, go on. But if she has positive momentum, I'll give it time.
Agreed. I agree. Right. Okay.
So Hassan said, everyone in the best version of themselves in the beginning, hence the bait and switch.
Right. You know, I would say I'm lucky, Hassan, because Ching hasn't changed. She hasn't changed at all, and I mean that as a positive compliment. There's no bait and switch. She has the things I could have a laundry list of positive things to say about Ching. She's great at taking care of my needs. She's always been Johnny on the spot when it comes to doing X, Y, or Z small things for me. There's no bait and switch. There's no bait and switch, and I don't think you were referring to Ching when you said that, but I think I've been very lucky in our working relationship and outside of it that there hasn't been. And so a big shout out to Ching. Big shout out to Ching. Okay. All right.
William Landlord said, "Lol, how you guys are having a tense conversation in front of us." I think it needs to be.
Yeah, I think it's good for people to see that everything isn't always sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, right? And it is a little tense, but I do want you guys to know that this is the same way that we talk off camera as well. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to read this?
So back to the Philippines said, in addition to you being pinagpala, Cheng, the king next to you will always guide you in the right direction, even when you don't see it. Pack Richie knows 100%.
You know what? Thank you. Back to the Philippines. I appreciate that compliment, and I don't know 100%. But I'll say this: I'll be right way more times than I'll be wrong, and that's been proven over time. And I'll stand on that. And when I make a mistake, I am always willing to say, "My bad, my mistake." Always, always. My pride. I don't have that kind of pride or ego where I can't say I made a mistake. I don't have that. I appreciate the compliment. Okay. Mr. said,
"Hello, Mr. I issue a challenge. Have a staring contest and fart really hard while maintaining eye contact. First one to laugh has to pay for dinner of the winner's choice."
We went out. I took us out to BGC last night, and I paid for dinner. So, yeah, I don't know about it, but I like the idea. I like the idea. I got that fart out in the last video. Okay.
Okay. Black Box said, I was a crazed guy and the army gave me discipline and a path. The battalion gave me the purpose and different approach on life for everything I am now is from my brothers in arms in my journey.
Luca is joining us.
Hello,
Thank you so
Luca.
much for joining us, Luca. Would you like to read her comment?
If your threshold for patience and understanding is being tested by someone too many times, leave.
Would you say I'm impatient?
I made you impatient. So.
Would you say I've lost patience or I've gained patience since we met?
You've gained patience.
Okay. I think so too. I think I've become a lot more patient because out of necessity.
And before, I can tell the difference, how patient you were before than you are now. I think you are more patient now.
I would have to agree with that. Okay, all right.
Mm. So Mr. said, I think you're trying to say you feel like lots of feedback is same as an attack.
Do you agree with that, or
I'm not really sure I understand. Feedback is tame, like mellow.
you said before you feel like the feedback was kind of an attack sometimes?
Gotcha.
Is-
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that you know, you don't get as much positive feedback. You get more negative than positive feedback or negative criticism, or let's say constructive criticism. So something for you to improve. And it gets tiring sometimes. It frustrates you also as the student to give, oh, I didn't get anything right.
So
sorry.
okay. Do you feel like you don't get positive reinforcement?
I do get positive reinforcement. Sorry.
Take your time. All right. Let's see. Tiger Ryan said, "Oh yes, I know someone that needs to grow." Mister said, "I think you're trying to say lots of feedback is taken as an attack." And I think that was the message
Yes,
he was trying
po.
to get. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Alan said, "Give each other a big kiss and relax. Enjoy the day, as tomorrow is not promised." You know what? Come here, Ching. I'll give you a hug. Okay? You will always. I told you before. Until the day I die, I'm always going to love you because you earned that. And there will never be a day or a time when you can't come to me and say, Rich, can you help me? And I won't help you. You earned that. You earned that in how you've treated me. You earned that in how and the things you've done for me, and that you've always been there and you've done your damnedest to be there and to help me. And so you earned that from me. And you have that. Okay? All right. Let's see. Mr. said, that's what I think too. Okay, Black Box. I think we're catching up with the comments. We're still about an hour behind, right? Okay. In my dealings, I would listen because I'm not emotionally charged in the situation, but to allow each other to speak their mind, right? I think listening and taking the emotions and just trying to listen and hear what somebody is trying to tell you. Women are emotional beings. They are. They'll act out at times, and I will deal with it accordingly. They will always be emotional. I agree. I absolutely agree. Let's see. Naps said, I think so too, but I know myself and men of my generation have had to take it on the chin, so to speak, and not take it personally. So when we can improve, it's uncomfortable, but necessary. It's uncomfortable, but necessary. Okay, I agree. I agree. Okay. Let's see. All right. I like this. I like this. All right. Cheng, Lucas said, Cheng, how are you?
That's okay.
Not okay? You're going to be okay? Okay. All right. I think you will too. All right. All right. Jeff D. What's up, Jeff? Jeff said vetting is critical. It is crucial. It is imperative, and all of those words that are synonymous with critical. Jeff, I absolutely agree with you. You have to vet, and you have to keep vetting. You have to keep vetting as the relationship continues. You have to continue to vet. Okay, I absolutely agree with that. Right? Okay. Pardon? You wanted to say something? Okay. Jeff D said, "Pretty is not always beautiful." Right? And in your case, Ching, I'll give you another compliment, which is that I said it yesterday. There has never been a day when I didn't think that you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
There's never been such a day when I looked at you and thought that I didn't think you were beautiful because of the person you are inside, not just outside, but the person you are inside. Okay? And I mean that. And I've said it before. I've said it off camera. So you know I mean it. Okay? Let's see. Okay, so that's okay. DG said we don't want the ones who belong to the streets, and I agree, DG. I do not want the ones who belong to the streets. Luckily, I don't think Cheng is such a person who belongs to the streets, right? Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get through here. All right. All right. Okay. We want to read this.
Agreed, disrespect is the end of the relationship. I established a rule with my ex-jowa that we don't yell at each other. I never once broke that rule, but she did quite a few times. I had to leave.
You know, Mr. There just comes a time when you make the decision of how much longer, or what you're willing to. Maybe you feel like you put as much into a relationship as you can, and you can't put more in, and maybe you feel like you're not getting the same out of the relationship, and you have to make decisions accordingly. And I understand that. All right. Okay, you want to read that one, or do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Okay. Lucas said, I know, right? I hate to be with someone you feel like you need to jump hoops just to please him. A relationship should make you feel like you're loved and accepted despite your shortcomings. I totally agree with that. Okay. Okay. All right.
Hello, Big Dummy. Welcome.
What's up, Big Dummy? Is that the first time?
I think so.
Okay. Welcome to our channel, Big Dummy.
Can you read this?
Sure. How can you dummies pick a quality woman in another country when you cannot pick one in your own? In addition, I never see these YouTube talking to the men of these countries and getting their thoughts. I do it all the time.
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, thanks for the comment. But we always talk to men and get their thoughts, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I wish we could talk to more women, but it's easier to talk to the men, actually, because the men aren't as shy as most of the men aren't as shy about commenting. But actually, I think we get quite a few comments from
Yes,
them,
Bob.
right? Okay. But thank you for your comment, Big Dummy.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Big Dummy comes from Sanford and Son, same as 5 across your lip.
Ah.
Yeah, he used to call his son, you big dummy.
You big dummy.
Yeah, you big dummy. Right. Okay.
It's a nice way to call someone stupid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. William said, never let work destroy a beautiful relationship.
Sometimes it's not about work. And first and foremost, I agree with that, with what you said. But sometimes it's not even about work. Sometimes it has very little to do with work, actually. Okay. Let's see. Just repeating updates. Okay. You have to give. Okay. Here we go.
Mr. said, you have give people room to grow, but we don't have forever to wait until people get it right. Life is short, and sometimes we have to move on.
I'm going to put that as the third best comment of the day. There are 3. I think all the comments are outstanding, and I appreciate them. But I'm going to put that as the number 2 or 3. I think the Marine had the first awesome comment, and someone else had a Mr. I'm going to say that's the third comment of the day. And I agree with you. I absolutely agree.
Okay. Wow, I just get this message from a Filipina. I'm at the hospital for my son's surgery. Is this for real or set up for money?
See if she asks. See if she asks you for money. Right? Yeah. See if she asks you for money, and just say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope he'll be okay. I'll pray for him." Right? There you go.
That's so, Tree News Discernment, thank you so much for joining, and welcome to Rich
to the fam. Welcome to the fam.
So Rich and Cheng, first time on your live, and we picked an outstanding one to join. Cheng, you have been entrusted with much, so much more will be asked. You're blessed. Let me read that again. Cheng, you have been entrusted with much, so much more will be asked. You're blessed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I like that. Tree News, thank you for joining the family. We're welcome here. And if you ever want to comment or call in and give your 2 cents or add to the conversation, you are always welcome to do so, my brother. Always. Okay. All right. Obi-Wan, look at you. Look at you. You get it. You get it. Becoming a Jedi was never easy. Nobody said it was easy to be a Jedi. Some people don't even become Jedis. They remain Padawans. You get it. Okay? All right. The training is not always easy. Right? All right. Let's see. Okay. Are you ready to read, or did you need me to read these?
I can read.
Okay.
So Alistair said, you're a teacher. Pick your worst student. Please tell us why that student is the worst. Just curious. I think I have one student in mind, and I think I'm going to relate myself to that student, because whenever I teach him something, he always has. But what if this is that this is, he always has something to say. Well, then I'm always telling him that, well, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And what if this doesn't work? Then you have to try this X, Y, and Z. But
It sounds like pushback.
yes, po. It sounds like pushback. That's why I said that it sounded.
And that's your worst student, you say?
Yeah, that's, I think, my worst student. So I think I'm a worst student. And I think that as a teacher, I exhibit a lot of patience. Not just because I'm a teacher, because I'm also a mom, that you need to teach to your boys. So sometimes, as a woman, you get overwhelmed. Or not overwhelmed, you get overstimulated by a lot of things.
Okay,
So,
overstimulated.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. Ronnie said, I was thinking that Obi-Wan, but she's not asked for money before. We'll see, right? Just God bless you. I'll pray for your son and leave it at that. I'm sorry to hear that. God bless you. I'll pray for your son. Right? Okay. Ty Wood, you want to read that?
Slick Rick, you take care of my brother. Much love to you. Go Niners. I got a rescue call.
Okay, we'll just go ahead. All right. Let's see.
Obi-Wan said. Obi-Wan said, in the Philippines, they all take criticism pretty hard. It's in their culture.
Obi-Wan, I have to agree with you. It's something I learned very quickly. And Luca, if you care to, you can add to this and maybe you can correct me if you will. One thing I learned really quickly here is that people, no matter how constructive you give criticism, they don't take it. Most people here do not take it well. And that's something I learned, and it may be part of the culture. Luca, you can let me know if I'm right or wrong. And Ching, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I think we take criticism really hard. We take it personal, and sometimes it just takes time that you understand that it's going to help you, and it hurts a lot because that's the truth. The truth hurts.
Well, I'll read Luca's comment because Luca says you're a quality woman, Ching. And Ching, I agree with her. I think you are a quality woman. I would never say otherwise. I just don't have a lot negative to say. I don't have a lot. If someone was asking me about you, there's just not much negative I could say about you. And I think that's a compliment to you and the person that you are.
The talking points made me think of my quality.
Okay. I'll read this comment. Mr. said, I just watched the movie The Smashing Machine about the MMA career of Mark Kerr. He was on track to be the greatest of all time, but his girlfriend was not peaceful and caused him to lose his biggest fight. Mr. You struck again. Right? She can have all of those. If she doesn't bring you peace, what do you do? Okay. Let's see. Richie, DG said she thinks she can never measure up. You know what, DG? I would say this. I don't know. Maybe that's true. I won't speak for Ching, but I don't know. But in choosing a man, and there's 2 women here that I know of, there might be more. In choosing a man, don't you try to choose a man that you look up to, that you admire and you respect?
Yes.
And if you don't choose a man that you admire and you respect or that you look up to, then what are you doing? You're choosing a man that you feel like can provide. He's stronger than you. He's more educated. He's 17 years older, so a lot more experience, a lot of wisdom, a lot of stuff that you don't have. When would you get to a point to where you measured up to him? That's my question. When would you reach the point where you actually measured up to him, when there's such an age gap? And there's not just the age gap, but the difference in the level of education, the difference in the level of experience. When would you reach that point to where you actually did measure up to that person?
I don't think you will reach that point.
You might wouldn't. Maybe you would. Maybe you might even surpass him. But I would think likely it would take a lot to reach the point to where you measured up to that person.
Because when you start a relationship, you want a man who can provide, who has more money than you, can provide you security. So in that sense, you are already thinking that you understand as a woman that you will never be equal to your man.
Okay. This is the continuation of
Okay,
Mr. Mister's comment.
so
Mr. Mister said it destroyed him inside and ruined his career because he turned to drugs because of it. It's one of many examples of how peace is so important to a man. Mr. Mister, I assure you, I will not turn to drugs, and I won't start boozing or drinking or turning to drugs or doing destructive things because I've worked so hard to get to where I am now, and I enjoy my life. But sometimes, I'm telling you, no one can bring you peace, but certain people can certainly add to it, and other people can certainly detract from it. And when you meet people that detract from it, it is imperative that you remove those people from your life. My own opinion. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Alan, retired in the Philippines, said. You want to read
first
it?
time I met my Filipino wife, I was like taming a tiger.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like that.
It was like taming a tiger. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, and I think that for some people they like that. They like taming the tiger. Um, and I mean I wouldn't put fault anybody who likes kind of doing that, but I don't know. I just want peace. I want peace. Every in my mind, I've worked to get to a point where I have peace in my life. So when I bring someone into my life, I expect that person to add to my peace. And that's the expectation. You guys can let me know, is that unreasonable that you would expect the people that you bring into your life to add to your peace, not to bring you peace, but to add to the peace you already have, right?
Yeah.
It's like expecting someone to make you happy, right? No one's going to make you happy. They add to your happiness, or they can detract from it. And what do you do if they detract from it? If they add to it, you're like, yes, I made a good choice. But what do you do when they detract from it? Okay. All right, let's see if we can catch up. Let's see. Um, let's see. Chosen one said, women are meant to be loved, not understood. Oscar Wilde. A quote from Oscar Wilde, right? All right. Lucas said, Filipinos accept criticisms as long as it's not in a condescending manner. Okay. I think that must be yours. Is that yours? I think that's yours. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Disco Forever. I think that's the first time, right?
Yes.
Disco Forever. Welcome to our channel. Welcome, Rich abroad, and welcome to the family. Always leave your comments. Call in if you want to. The number is right there in the comments. If you can't see it, Slick Rick will post it again. It's all throughout the comments. You're welcome to call in and add your 2 cents to our conversation. So Disco Forever said,
The student should be expected to challenge the teacher at times. That's why we are individual thinkers.
I like that. I like that. So the student challenges the teacher. Okay. That was bad. So the student challenges the teacher, and then what? If the student challenges the teacher, and what if because this has happened before, the student challenges the teacher, and the student is actually right? How often does that happen?
Not really. A lot.
How? And that's my question. How? So I agree with you. This is not communism. It's not a dictatorship. So the student challenges the teacher, right? So if the student challenges the teacher and turns out they're totally wrong, they're totally off base, right? And then it happens again and again and again and again. But the 8th time that the student challenges the teacher, the student is actually kind of right and has a good point, right? So do we keep doing that? Is that what we're doing? We're challenging the person who has the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience, the education. We're challenging them because we feel like we want to make a point, where we feel like we want to feel better about ourselves, so that we get to a point where we're challenging the teacher and we're wrong far more often than we're right. Is that conducive to a good relationship? That's my question. But I like the comment. Right? And Disco Forever said it's called interactive learning, and I agree with that. I agree with, and I would take it a step further, Disco, and say that when you get to a point where you can't, to where your student can't speak their mind, then you've lost that student. Then you're not even a good teacher. You're not even a good instructor. When your student can't ask questions, and I think that's imperative that your student ask questions. And you use the phrase challenge. I don't know about challenge, but you should absolutely be able to ask questions and say, I think this. Well, can you tell me about this? Can you tell me about that? Do you agree with that? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Ty Woods said, you want to read this or you want me to read it?
I can read it.
Okay.
Following accepting correction, you hold your ground, Cheng. Good luck to you too. I can feel the tension in the air. You can cut it with a knife. I have so much respect. I love this show.
Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty. And you know what? Listen, I don't ever think that I'm above listening to other people. I think the day you shut your mind, your ears to listen to hearing feedback from other people, I think you start to lose. Even if it's people you don't agree with, even if it's people you agree with, but you need to be willing to listen to other people because there's always room for learning. There's always room for improvement. There's always room, always room. And for some people, there's a lot more room than others. But listening to constructive criticism, I think, is important for growth overall.
Yes.
That's my thinking. Okay?
I agree.
Knapp said, teachers should accept that challenge and adapt to figure out what works best for the students to learn. You guys, both you guys, Ty and Disco Forever and Naps, you guys are all on point. You're all on point there, right? Black Box said, I'll teach her by example as well as words because words without works mean nothing. I agree. I totally agree, right? All right. William said, good night, Rich and Cheng. Don't be so hard on yourselves, right?
Thank you
William,
for joining us,
and
William.
thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. We're at 2 hours and 31 minutes. Let's see if we can get through some of these comments and get the people out of here. I know there's a lot of stuff that people have to do. People don't want to listen to all of us forever, right? Lucas and Cheng. I think she sees you crying and she wants to give you a hug. I'll give you know what? I'll give you a hug for Luca. There you go. There you go. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh no. Hey man. You guys don't give out game scores or game results, please. That's what I do after the live stream. So no game scores, no results, please. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Black Box said, yeah, we can see something is going on. You guys, of course you're right. You guys are intuitive. Of course there's something going on. Disco Forever said, the one thing about low-hanging fruit is the person or persons noticing. I may be seeking confirmation that they really want that low-hanging fruit because they may be a low-laying fruit picker. How about that? I like that. Okay. Let's see. Luca said, I feel stronger over here, right? Luca, you're awesome. Right? I understand you're more tuned in to see it more than me. No, I think you guys are very intuitive. Yeah. And I think you guys are very intuitive, right? Back to the Philippines said, listening to understand over listening to respond. Okay. Right? Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. Okay. You want to read this?
What she would bring to me is her experiences with living in the Philippines. I would give her a lesson.
Boom. Right? So, I mean, if anything you can tell me about here in the Philippines, you have a plethora of experience about the life, the culture, the food, everything about here. But how are you going to tell me about doing business? How are you going to tell me about practicing law? How are you going to tell me about traveling abroad? How are you going to tell me about living in X countries and other countries aside from your own? How are you going to tell me about speaking multiple languages? How are you going to tell me about raising children into adults, right? So again, there's that thing where you have X amount of experience, X amount of wisdom, X amount of things that you can impart on to someone else. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means you have experience. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Bama in the
Philippines. What is up, Bama? What's going on, brother? Right. Good to see you as well. Right. Let's see. Clint P.
Sometimes it's nobody else's business. Make that all the time. Ask me about my business, you will get all bleak.
Exactly. All right. Let's see. Mr. Green Acres Pumping. That has got to be a new name. Welcome, Mr. Green Acres Pumping
Welcome.
to our channel. I think we're all giving Cheng hugs. Cheng is having let's call it a moment of reflection. Some moments of reflection. And what the F? I think everything will be all right. I don't think the world's going to come to an end. We all have these moments, right? Let's see. Sir, whoa!
Esther Williams.
Wow,
It's been a
long
while.
time. What is going on, brother? Long time no see. I think we were just like talking about you the other day. Okay, Slick Rick is in the house. Slick Rick wants to call in. It's just not doing their job. All right, hold on, Slick Rick, just a second.
Hey.
Go ahead. What you got, bro?
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Green, whatever, is a troll. He's not welcome on the channel.
Okay, we're shutting it down then. Do your thing.
No, I already removed him. So
okay, cool deal. All right, thank you. Because we're a little bit behind.
Before you start welcoming.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind. Okay, cool. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
You got it, man.
All right, cool.
Talk to you later.
All right. Hey, Senior SR Williams, thanks for checking in, bro. Always good to hear from people who've been around for a long time. Hope you're doing good. Let me know. Let me know how you're doing, bro. Definitely. Let's see. Clint P said,
I've had a woman and she said, and did the things I like, even bring my plate because I really like that. Month later, it was what's wrong with your hands and everything changed.
Right. See, this is where I'm lucky, Clint, because she's never done that. She has never done that. Never said, never even hinted. Do you understand what he's saying? Yeah. Never, nothing like that. Nothing like that. This is a woman who has always been Johnny on the spot to take care of all of my needs, all of them. And I've always said it. If it's just about taking care of your needs, this woman is phenomenal. Not just good, but phenomenal. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But in our case, unrelatable. But that does suck, doesn't it?
Good morning, Joey.
Good morning, Joey. What's going on, right? And Joey said, who was the disrespectful person making Cheng cry?
No.
Who is that? Who's
no
the
one
disrespectful
is making
person?
me cry. I'm just reflecting on my own actions.
Okay. All right. Obi-Wan blamed me. Obi-Wan said Rich is making her cry. I don't think so.
No,
I don't. It wasn't me. Right? Sting Shag said, "What did I miss? What's up, Sting Shag? Yeah, watch the. What's up, Sting Shag? Glad to have you in the house." Obi-Wan said, "I love this. Would you like to read that?"
They're politely beefing in front of us.
Okay. All right. The distance, right? Isn't it interesting that you pick up what did I just talk about this yesterday? That you pick up on
The
body
details.
language. You pick up on details because they mean something. Because they actually mean something. And actually, I'm gonna tell you, it's a misperception and the reason why is because the camera is far away from us right now. Normally, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, normally you wouldn't be able to tell the distance, but let me be honest. Let me be honest with all you guys for a moment. Be very truthful. I've been in the gym and I'm feeling pretty good about my guns. And let's be real, I wanted to just show off my guns, so I pushed the camera away so y'all could see me flex a little bit, right? That's what that's about. But normally you wouldn't notice. Normally this is what we look like. So it's actually kind of a misconception. Or misperception, I should say. Okay. All right. Let's see. Alistair said this is not a beef. Lights out, folks. Right. And agreed. All right. Let's see. Lucas said it happens to the best of us. They'll be all right. Most important thing is that they have open communication. Agreed. Right. Morris said I picked that up in the first 15 minutes. Right. Because you can feel it. Right. You can. And you know what, you guys, I'm glad. I'm so glad that you guys are saying it because listen, one thing you're not going to get from me, and I don't think you're going to get from Cheng, is I'm not going to go online and make some video. Cheng did this or Cheng's this, Cheng's that. It's not my place to throw Cheng under the bus when we're having a disagreement or something like that. But I do want you guys to know that everything is not always rainbows, unicorns, and everything is not always grins, smiles, giggles, and laughs. We have our disagreements, and sometimes they're going to affect our moods. Sometimes they might even affect our videos. I hope they don't. But we have our disagreements too. It's not always great. We do really well on camera. I think I agree with you guys. I think we have a really good chemistry on camera. Unfortunately, sometimes we just don't always get along. And it's just that simple, right? But I think it's a tribute to the both of us that we're able to handle our difficulties and our differences in a civil way and in a way that where we're not fighting, calling names, or throwing each other under the bus, or putting each other on blast out on social media. It's not how I get down. It's never how I get down. And if the day comes where me and Cheng part ways and we have to do different things, it's still not going to happen because
That's a promise to
yeah,
each other.
well, not just that, but
And also,
I think you earned that from me, and how you've treated me all this time. I think you've earned that respect from me.
and likewise.
Okay? All right. Let's see. Black Box said, I'm feeling a sad way as well. I'm a loner by nature, and I like to see people who are in couples, and it hurts to see Cheng in pain. Black Box, it hurts me too, bro. It hurts me too. I think it's possible it may hurt me a lot more than you, right? But it hurts me too, and I appreciate you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure everything will be all right. This, it's part of life, as you know. There's always ups and downs in life, right? Obi-Wan said they communicate well, though, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So Alistair said when he said he had an announcement, I thought it was weddings.
It's not going to be weddings, Alistair. It's not going to be weddings for sure, right? All right. And Alistair said, but I respect the communication between both of them, right? And Alistair said, and Alistair, excellent. I learned a lot tonight. That just what you see in videos is a lot of times what they want you to see. But what you're going to get from me and what you're going to get from Cheng is real life. And that's how, I mean, for the most part, we get along very well, but not always. We're not the perfect couple. We're just two people. We're just two people, and we don't always get along, but we do our best. Okay? All right. Let's see. Vincent Mendez. She
Hello,
looks so
Vincent.
emotional. Oh,
sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Vincent, welcome to our live stream. I think this is a new name.
There we go. We can't have snotty noses on a live stream. Okay. All right. She looks so emotional, makes me sad. Makes me I like when I see you guys joking. I like that too. I like that too, Vincent. And I would say 80%, 80 to 85%, that's what I'm always shooting for. It's like that. But this is just one of the 10 to 15%. And I don't think we're any different from any other couple. People are going to go through it. It just so happens that we're going through it at a time when we're scheduled to have a live stream. And so we have to make a decision to either cancel our live stream and disappoint you guys, or be able to handle this like adults and turn it into a learning lesson and a teaching lesson, or a moment for everybody to learn from, which is that there is no perfect couple. And we're not an exception to that. That's it. Okay. Mr. Green Acres Pumping said, please end this chat. No, I don't think so. Not yet. We're getting close. Thank you too for all the helpful information you shared. Michael Smith said, right?
Yeah.
Michael. Let's do this, right? And we appreciate that. And we try to be insightful. We try to be informational, and we try to be humorous. Mm-hmm. This just happens to be one of the live streams where we're not as humorous as we normally are, but we'll get back there. We'll be back there.
And Michael, welcome to Rich Rich Abroad.
Welcome to Rich Abroad, Michael. Thank you for coming. Do not let this be the last time you add your comment. And feel welcome to call in and add your comment too, right? Yes. All right. A Black Box said, and you want to read this?
They aren't breaking up, whoever that was.
Okay. Black Box said that, right? Got it. Oh, got it. Okay. I think now we're up on game now. Yeah.
Okay. So the Obi-Wan said, Mr. said to Obi-Wan, the criticism comment, I agree, reminds me of my ex asking me 8 times if she should cut her hair. I told her I like it the way it is. The 9th time she asked, I said, I don't care. Now she's upset.
Right. Interesting analogy. I like that analogy, right? And Obi-Wan, like you said, it's like that. Sometimes my brother always says it bees like that. And I agree. It just, everything can't always be perfect. It's not always perfect. It's not always, it's not always just going to be grin, smiles, giggles, and laughs. And yeah, we're just having one of those moments where it's not, where it's not. And it's a tough moment. It's a tough moment. And it just so happens we're sharing it with you guys. That's it. That's it. Okay. Let's see. In her mind, Richie. Did I miss
In
something?
her own mind.
In her own mind, Richie.
Yeah, I think I hear myself saying that in my mind, in my mind, this is how I look at it. So yeah.
Okay. Christopher Michael, absolutely. Life is too short. You got to work together. Isn't that the key? Is learning to work together. Is learning to work together. Not the I, because there's no I in team, but learning to work together. Not worrying about what you feel or how you feel, but learning to do what's in the best interest of the team or the family. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay.
So Mr. said, Obi-Wan, it happened 3 years ago and it still irks me to this day. No matter how gentle I was, it still resulted in her getting upset.
She did you a favor, bro. She did you a favor. Yeah, you got out of that one and you moved on to bigger and brighter pastures, and she did you a favor, right? Okay. Hold on. Okay, that's different.
So Christopher Michael
Mhm.
said, life is too short and you have to work together in this world to get anywhere in life. Everyone has their own path, but we must align sooner than later. We got to part.
That's right. You are absolutely right, Christopher Michael. All right. So I think everybody's caught up. All the newbies that came into the chat, I'm sure you are because of the comments, right? Okay, cool. All right. All right. And then let's see. All right. And then Mr. Fedden, she was my favorite of girlfriend ever, but she kept disturbing the peace. She kept disturbing the peace. Where is she now, Mr. Mister? This girl who kept disturbing the peace. Where is she now? Okay. All right, Joey Agbayani, you want to read this, or would you like me to read it?
I'll read it. Guys, Filipinas are more emotional than any other women. My wife had some emotional breakdown, so I need to be strong for her so she can overcome her emotions.
You might be right, Joey. I'm not sure. I can't speak to it because I only know, I don't know a whole bunch of Filipinas, but emotional for sure. We all have emotions. Just I think the thing is, as mature adults, we're expected to control our emotions, especially in time of need. Okay. In American schools, unfortunately, a lot. Okay. All right. I'm not sure either. Maybe I missed that one. Okay. Okay. All right. Quick shout out to Slick Rick for handling his business on this damn troll. I didn't even see it. I wouldn't even have known. But Slick, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. Handle that business, right? Boom. Right? We didn't even know. We didn't even know we had a troll in our audience.
Yeah.
It's like bang. Right? Out of here. All right. Right on, bro. That's what's up.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Slick
Rick.
Rick. Right. All right. Right on point. Christopher Michael said
mental immaturity, tampo, and saving face needs to end.
Wow. I'm just pausing to let that sink in. Okay. All right, we'll go on to the next comment. All right. Let's see. And Black Box said, unfortunately, it's the culture. It's like asking Americans to be patient, right? You know what? I got to tell you, Black Box, when I first got here, bro, I just was not a patient dude at all. And I'm not going to call myself patient now, but let me assure you, I am
substantially patient.
More patient than I was before. Out of necessity. I had to be. It was required of me. But I agree with you. Asking us to be patient is tough because we're just not patient by nature, right? All right. Okay, Lucas said.
Have a peaceful Sunday, fun day. Love you, Cheng and Rich. Love you back,
Luca,
Luca. Thank
love
you
you
so
back.
much.
Love you back, and thanks for joining us. Paul is in the house. Paul said, "Good morning. How are you guys doing?" Well, you just came in at the end of the waterworks, so I think we're doing okay now, Paul. All right. Luca said, "Love you, Cheng. Stand proud. You're a beautiful woman inside out."
Thank you.
I'm going to read that again so that you hear it. Sometimes people need validation from other people, from outside sources. Love you, Cheng. Stand proud. You're a beautiful woman inside out. Have you heard that before? Where have you heard that from before?
From you.
Mm-hmm. From who? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
From you.
From me. Once? I've only said it once, right?
A lot.
A lot. A lot. That's what we would call positive reinforcement.
Apo.
So you're getting not just constructive
But
criticism,
also positive.
but you're also getting positive reinforcement too. Okay. All right. I think we're at the tail end. Woo! All right. 2:50. We can't go over 3 hours. Mr. said,
It's uncomfortable, but it's very healthy to have discussions and disagreements without yelling or disrespecting each other. When you cannot do that, you have no future together.
None. And I'm gonna go on record and say this is probably one of the most productive. This is probably gonna go down as being one of the most productive live streams we've ever had.
I agree.
Because you guys get to see everything. You get to see the other side too, and that it's not always perfect. I think people like the notion of putting other people up on a pedestal and saying, "Look at them, look at their life. They're this or they're that."
Perfect.
But our life isn't any different than anybody else's life. It might be a little better, but we're still not perfect either. We're not perfect either. And again, it just so happens that we had this issue at a time when we are due to have a live stream. So we have to have a choice. Do we cancel the live stream, or do we have our polite beef, as somebody said, online in front of everybody? But I think if you want to call this a beef, I think it's one of the best beefs that's ever been had in a live stream.
Best beef noodle soup.
There's your joke. Okay? There's a joke from Cheng. Not a funny one, but nonetheless a joke. Okay. But nonetheless a joke. It's good to have you back. Okay, you want to read Luca's comment?
To be fair with you, Rich, you are being you. You never forget to compliment Cheng, and to me, that's a big plus for a wonderful relationship. Sorry for the caps, because get the typo errors with small caps. Appreciate you, Luca, and to agree with you, I think Rich I would be so stupid to let this man go. I'll just keep it at that.
Thank you for your comment, Luca. Very much appreciated. Yep. And Slick Rick actually said it well said. You're always making great points, and it's appreciated. Jacques Payne is in the house. Rich, Cheng, and Slick Rick, what's good? Jacques Payne, you are what's good, my brother. You're what's good.
Thank you,
appreciate
Jacques.
you being here. Right? All right.
What did I?
So what did I walk into? Right? You're gonna have to watch the replay. We might go viral on the replay, right? Yeah, you're gonna have to watch the replay. But you did miss. You missed a lot, right?
You missed a lot of beef.
And Morris said, "You want to read that?"
This is how good communication is done.
That's how it's done. But it takes two. It takes someone to speak. It takes both people to speak, and it takes both people to listen, not to respond, but to listen,
to understand.
Yep. Jacques said, "I'm good, brother. How you doing, Slick Rick?" I'm good. I'm glad you're doing good, Jacques. We always appreciate having you in here. Raymond said,
I appreciate Cheng still doing the live stream. Much respect to both of you for still doing the live stream.
Thank you, Raymond. Much appreciated. Okay.
I think Cheng wanted to change the name of the show and got a little hot. Bless her heart, just playing. I have no intentions of changing this name. This channel is named Rich Rich Abroad, as it should.
And it shall remain.
It will remain Rich Rich Abroad. So Richie and Cheng, your communication skills are top shelf. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Jacques.
Thank you
very much. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Mister, where is she now? She's in the Philippines, not disturbing anyone's peace because nobody got time for that.
Okay.
For that.
There you go.
Sometimes, Mister, put me
Yeah,
up on game.
He put you up on game, right? All right. Okay. DG said, I got to check out the beginning. Probably so, DG.
Yeah.
But you might have missed a thing or two in the beginning, right? Okay. So, a little compliment from Jacques Payne.
Saying you're a beautiful woman inside and out, have a great sense of humor, and the voice of an angel. I don't have a voice of an angel.
No, when you sing, you do.
I thank
When
you.
you sing, you do. You absolutely do. You have a great voice when you're singing.
Thank you for the compliment, but I think I have a huge room of improvement, especially I need to really work on taking criticisms not as an attack, but more of something that I look for to improve. Rhoda, you're late.
Rhoda is in the house. Yes, Rhoda, you're late, and you are probably going to want to go back and watch the rest of our live stream. But we love having you here, and we're happy that you're here.
Yeah, you missed a doozies according to Obi-Wan.
Right. Yeah, Rhoda, we thought you forgot about us. You know how much we love you, and it would have been great to have a woman in the comments.
Yeah, but we appreciate
a little
Luca.
earlier.
Thank
We
you.
absolutely appreciate Luca being here and adding to the quality of the conversation. Roland After It came in and sent us a super sticker.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that, Roland After It. And it's first timer.
I think so.
First timer. So welcome to the fam, bro.
Thank you so much.
It came in with a blast. But let me tell you, what we really appreciate always is you adding to the conversation, adding quality to the conversation by calling in, by adding comments, and giving us what you got, giving us your take. But thank you so much, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see what else we got.
So
Sting Shag said Sting Shag is coming back, bro. Don't come back and don't you come back in Manila without hollering at your boy, bro. Don't come back up in here without hollering at me. I wish you guys could see how big Sting Shag is.
I know.
This brother is so huge. When we first rolled up on Sting Shag, I was like,
I feel small.
God damn, he's big. Sometimes I feel like a big brother, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure. But Sting Shag's like 6'3", 6'4", and I'm in my 220s. And Sting Shag, I don't know what you weigh, bro. It's 250, 260 or something like that. He's a big brother. You guys have no idea, but the nicest dude you ever met. One of the nicest cats to this day you ever met. Right? We'll be happy to have you guys back. Looking forward to seeing you, Sting Shag.
Yeah.
Right?
Morris said, Richie, you said it earlier. That's the subject just happens to be coincidence.
It does. It worked out, and that's why I thought it was important to actually do this live stream, Morris, because I think it's apropos, and it lets people know that it's not always going to be great, no matter who you are. It's just not always going to be great, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. The vicissitudes of life happen to us all. Keep communications and keep keeping on. Much love from Little Rock, Arkansas. I think it's Little Rock, Arkansas. Anyway, is there another Little Rock?
I'm not sure.
Right? I'm guessing it's Arkansas. Thanks, Jacques Payne. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. By the way, Little Rock is the capital of Arkansas, which is next to your famous Alabama. Okay? All right. Okay. Rhoda said, "I will forget Richie Rich abroad. I went to church. That's why I'm
maybe
late."
I will not.
I won't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Rhoda, it's so good to see you. We're always happy to have you. Right. All right. Let's see.
Black Box said, "Don't worry, Cheng. I'm a weird dude. I have my emotional moments watching Highlander the movie."
All right. Rhoda, we hope that Black Box. Hey, Black Box. I want to tell you, I appreciate your calls. Every single call today was very insightful, and for all you guys who called in, we really appreciate the calls. We appreciate the encouragement, the calls, and don't worry, things will get worked out. But sometimes people have moments, right? People have those moments. I do want to remind you guys that next week we are not going to be here. In fact, next week we will be. Will we be here?
No.
We won't be here. We'll be in Hong Kong. And this will be Ching's first time out of the country. So we'll be in Hong Kong. We're going to Disneyland, and we're going to take one hiking trip for sure, but possibly a second hiking trip. So we'll be in Hong Kong, and if we do a live stream, we'll know by Thursday. We'll post it, of course. If we do a live stream, it will be from Hong Kong. So it'll be from a different country, and it'll be Ching's first time in another country, and maybe she'll be able to provide some insight as to her experience and how things are going in another country.
My eyes will be wide open,
Wide open, okay?
and my head will be on a
swivel. On a swivel, right? All right. Okay. So I think we finally got to the end of our live stream. And Mr. said Hong Kong. That's the city that inspired me to travel the world in the first place. Me too. I mean, China inspired the hell out of me. Going to Russia really inspired me, and Japan pushed it even more. But this is going to be Ching's first time. We booked it. I booked everything. Everything is settled. It's done, paid for. So all we got to do is get on the plane and go.
Why? How come it's the city that inspired? Like Mr. Mister, Mr. Mister, how did Hong Kong inspire you to?
It's a great city.
In your opinion, it's a great city compared to you lived in China for 8 years compared to
Hong Kong's part of China.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
it's a great part of China, and there's a lot of history. There's a lot of history to Hong Kong because it was separated from China for a long time. But that's another lesson for another time.
Right? So it's like tradition meets modern, something like that.
Modernity, yeah, absolutely. I like that. Okay, so Black Box said, that's great, Rich and Cheng. It's great that she's going to another country. First time, right? First time. Not my first time. So it'll be a very interesting experience. Wisdom, experience, knowledge meets naivety.
Inexperience.
Yeah. How well will it work out? We shall see. We shall see. Okay. Never been on a subway before. All right. All right. There you go. All right. So we'll read these last three and let's get out of here and get something to eat. Okay?
All of my favorite movies came from Hong Kong. All the scenery in the movies was fascinating. I want to go see the sights in person.
Absolutely. Okay. If you watch, great Rush Hour 2 is in Hong Kong. Yeah, Rush Hour 2. Watch it again. It's all Hong Kong. It's all the scenes you see are Kowloon or Victoria Harbor and Kowloon. Everything in the movie. Yeah, tons of movies. Whenever they show a movie, in fact, something crazy. Whenever they show a movie from China, usually you're not seeing China. Usually you're seeing Hong Kong.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Hey, it depends on the person. I've been around the world, but Philippines gave me peace. It gives me peace too, Black Box. The Philippines gives me peace. Peace, it's the people around you that can add or detract from your peace. I agree with you. Okay. All right. Joey said good luck in the travel. And so we will see you guys from Hong Kong. Big thanks, folks. Rich and Cheng. Great live stream. Hey, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys being insightful, intuitive, and you guys picking up on the vibe, the energy. Don't read too much into the space between us. Again, seriously. Look, I've been in the gym. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm always in the gym, but I've been in the gym extra hardcore lately. And I wanted to show off the yokes, So that was more about the space than So it just looks like there's more space between us when the camera is back.
I think I like that better.
I do too, because
scratch the back of your head.
Man, my head itch, right? You show off. Anyway, I'm just joking. But that was more about that than anything else. There actually isn't, if you can look now. We haven't moved away or toward each other at all. It just looked like we were sitting further apart. But it's just kind of the illusion of the camera and the camera angle. So you can see that. There you go. We haven't moved. But the further away, it looks like we're more distant, right? Guns. That's what I'm saying. That's what's up, right? I'm getting in the gym trying to get my yokes on, right? I have a goal, and I'll be damned if I'm. You want to tell them our deal?
Yeah. So every day he has to make 8,000 steps.
8,000 steps.
8,000 steps. So we kind of bargained. We kind of bargained. He wanted 6,000. No, you're doing 8,000. So if he did not accomplish 8,000, he's going to give me 500 pesos. 500
pesos or 8,000 steps. It's gonna be 8,000 steps.
Yeah.
I haven't had to pay any pesos yet. It's been over 2 weeks now, I think. So,
it may be one of those few times that I'll be asking Rich for money. Give him 500.
I'm not gonna get money from because I'm going to do my 8,000 plus steps every day because I'm averaging, I think, nine and change. 9 and change, right? All right. So let's see. Alistair said, feed him protein, Cheng.
Easily, he eats a lot of protein.
And actually, I feed Cheng protein. Right.
Tiger. Next comment.
Right.
I love the beach in the Philippines and the Filipinas. Hopefully, I can live that life when the time is right.
Bring your ass back, Ryan. Let's have a drink together, bro. I'm looking forward to it. Seriously.
Probably
right?
good with Coke too.
With what?
The drink.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Coke.
Yeah, we gotta end this live stream. Okay. Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you guys for being supportive. Thanks for rooting us on, cheering us on, and helping us to get through this moment. I mean, we got a couple laughs out of Cheng toward the end of this, and just keep in mind. I mean, think about this. 2 years of live streams, 2 years of making videos. You've never seen us do a video like this, but it happens. It does happen. So I doubt that you'll see another video like this. I'm sure the next live stream we'll be back to our normal selves, but things happen. And yeah.
I think I would like to thank and appreciate everybody for giving, especially me, words of wisdom. I hear those words of wisdom a lot from Rich almost every day, but I think that when you ask for what a man would want, and a lot of men will tell you that they need peace more than anything else, and I think that's when you finally realize that men are so simple that you just have to bring peace in the relationship. In whatever you do, don't be a headache. You can argue disrespect you can argue, but do it with respect. I mean, not argue, share your points, but
you can disagree.
Share your points and make sure that you are doing it. Timing is very important. So
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you very much. Right, you guys. Who knows? We might decide to do because it's Sunday, so we might we leave on Sunday to come back, but we leave Sunday evening, so we might do a live stream from the hotel in Hong Kong. Yeah, we might do a live stream from the hotel. So we'll know by the middle of the week. We'll keep you guys posted, but just keep in mind that we are going to be outside. We're going to be outside during this week and having fun. So, but don't worry, everything should go back to normal. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy college football if you're watching it, because that's what I'm about to do. So I'll see you guys later, and love you guys. Thanks for being you, and thanks for all your support.
Thank you for the support, and thank you for loving our channel.
Okay, until next time, I'm Richie Rich for Richie Rich Abroad.
And this is Cheng.
And Slick Rick is behind there doing his thing. We love you, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you.